Chapter 25-23. Yes. Hearing Mo Qingyun's instructions, Niu Wei immediately led the way to the dragon vein. Under Niu Wei's guidance, Mo Qingyun soon arrived at the bottom of the sea and saw a huge blood-colored mountain range. This blood-colored mountain range looked like a crouching dragon. Presumably, it was the dragon vein. What a rich blood-qi fluctuation! Standing in front of the dragon vein, Mo Qingyun was astonished when he sensed the blood-qi fluctuation. Originally, he had thought that the dragon vein Niu Wei was talking about would be a huge mineral vein. But now it seemed like the dragon vein Niu Wei was talking about was a huge blood crystal. Since it's a blood crystal, it shouldn't be difficult for me to move it away. While Mo Qingyun was still in shock, he began to size up the dragon vein, thinking of a way to move it away. After Mo Qingyun observed for a while, his brows furrowed, and he revealed a troubled expression. He said in surprise, "I didn't expect there to be a natural formation around the dragon vein. It's connected to the bone sea. Moving it will be difficult." Mo Qingyun was a little worried. If he destroyed the surrounding formation, it would cause damage to the dragon vein. If the dragon vein was damaged, it would affect Niu Wei's cultivation, and the loss would outweigh the gain. What should I do? Mo Qingyun's brows were tightly knitted together, and his mind spun rapidly, thinking of a way to resolve this situation. Subsequently, Mo Qingyun circled around the dragon vein, carefully observing it. After observing the dragon vein for a while, Mo Qingyun had an idea. He thought to himself, from the looks of it, just moving the dragon vein is probably impossible. If I move it along with the sea region, the chances of success will be higher. When Mo Qingyun thought of this, he couldn't wait any longer and immediately put it into action. Although this move was a little crazy, he had no other choice. Then, Mo Qingyun circled around the sea and laid out an auxiliary formation. The surrounding sea area was too big. Without the help of the array formation, it would be difficult to move it into the Fortune mainland. Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, Niu Yu asked curiously, "Master, what are you doing? Could it be that you want to seal off this area of the sea?" Huang Xiaolong had no idea that Mo Qingyun wanted to move this sea and the dragon vein to the Fortune mainland. Hearing Niu Wei's words, Luo Jian and the others were puzzled. They did not understand what Mo Qingyun was thinking. "No, I'm going to move this sea region along with the dragon vein." In response to Niu Wei's question, Mo Qingyun gave him an affirmative answer with a serious expression. Hearing Mo Qingyun's reply, Niu Wei was immediately dumbfounded. He felt that his brain wasn't enough. This kind of thing was too crazy for him. He had never dared to think about it. Compared to Niu Wei's shock, Luo Jian was much calmer. He understood what Mo Qingyun meant. Previously, at the bottom of the Bone Mountain, he had seen with his own eyes that Mo Qingyun had moved his altar away. However, the current dragon vein was much bigger than his altar, and it would be more troublesome to move it. However, after seeing Mo Qingyun arrange the array formation, Luo Jian felt relieved. With the help of the array formation, it would be much easier for Mo Qingyun to move the dragon vein. Knowing Mo Qingyun's thoughts, no one asked any more questions. They silently watched from the side. As everyone waited, the time that followed quietly passed by. One day later, Mo Qingyun stopped arranging the array formation with a tired expression on his face. The teleportation array formation was finally completed. Whether it succeeds or not depends on this moment. After arranging the teleportation array formation, Mo Qingyun was a little nervous, but his eyes were filled with anticipation. Mo Qingyun's hands moved rapidly, forming a series of hand seals and sending them into the teleportation array formation. Then, the surrounding sea region teleportation array formation emitted rays of light. Boom, boom, boom. Then the sea region shook as if there was a violent tsunami. Seeing this, everyone's expression tensed up. Their hearts were in their throats. Under everyone's nervous gaze, the sea region surrounding the dragon vein slowly separated from the bone sea. As it separated from the bone sea, it disappeared bit by bit, as if it had entered another space. Seeing this, Niu Wei was stunned. He was shocked by the scene in front of him. At this moment, he finally understood the meaning of Mo Qingyun's words. Niu Wei understood this point. His expression tensed up even more as he looked at the dragon vein with a serious expression. Not long after, the dragon vein disappeared before everyone's eyes. It was as if it had disappeared into thin air. Seeing this scene, everyone's expression became excited. They knew that Mo Qingyun had succeeded. Phew, it's finally a success. After successfully moving the dragon vein away, Mo Qingyun took a deep breath. His hanging heart was slightly relieved. Although this action destroyed some of the dragon vein's formations, it did not harm the dragon vein's foundation. Mo Qingyun was very satisfied with this result. The next thing to do is to send the bone cows to the Fortune mainland. The battle strength of several 100,000 bone cows was still very terrifying. Mo Qingyun could not sit idly by. With this thought in mind, Mo Qingyun ordered Niu Wei to gather the bone cows. Hearing Mo Qingyun's order, Niu Wei did not dare to hesitate. He immediately gathered the bone cows. Before long, several 100,000 bone cows with powerful momentum gathered in front of Mo Qingyun. Looking at this herd of bone cows, Mo Qingyun took a deep breath and sent them to the Fortune mainland. Several hours later, under Mo Qingyun's continuous teleportation, all the bone cows were sent to the Fortune mainland. Let's go. After everything was done, Mo Qingyun informed Niu Wei and the others and set off towards the 9-oxen Divine Mountain. Just as Mo Qingyun was about to leave, an oppressive blood qi came from the dragon vein's location. Such rich blood qi, it's even stronger than the dragon veins. Sensing the shocking blood qi fluctuations, Mo Qingyun was startled. He immediately turned to look in the direction of the source of the blood qi. Streams of bright red blood flowed out from the ground, forming a small river of blood. This is true dragon's blood. Mo Qingyun's expression changed when he saw the bright red blood oozing out of the wound. He recognized it immediately. While Mo Qingyun was still in shock, he finally understood why there were dragon vein blood crystals here. Since I've come across it, I can't waste it. Looking at the flowing dragon blood, Mo Qingyun's face lit up. He began to collect it. Chapter 25-24. As Mo Qingyun collected the dragon blood, the amount of dragon blood decreased rapidly until it no longer flowed out. After collecting all the dragon blood, Mo Qingyun revealed a satisfied smile. He smiled faintly and said, "With the replenishment of this dragon blood, Niu Wei will not have any problems cultivating for a short period of time." While Mo Qingyun was thinking this, an unexpected scene happened. Under the nourishment of the dragon blood, the damaged natural formation on the dragon vein actually repaired itself. This way, the problem that has been giving me a headache is solved. Looking at the dragon vein's formation, Mo Qingyun was pleasantly surprised, and his mood improved. Seeing that all the problems were solved, Mo Qingyun was unwilling to stay any longer. He immediately said to Luo Jian, continue to lead the way. We're going to the 9-oxen Divine Mountain. Yes. Hearing Mo Qingyun's order, Luo Jian complied and led the way for Mo Qingyun. After instructing Luo Jian, Mo Qingyun first sent Niu Wei to the Fortune mainland, then sent in Chun and the others into the Soul Palace. In order to save time, Mo Qingyun took out the Blood Cloud flying ship to increase their speed. With the combat strength he now possessed, there were very few things that he had to worry about. There was no need for him to be as apprehensive as before. Luo Jian, take control of the flying ship. Taking out the Blood Cloud flying ship, Mo Qingyun said to Luo Jian and walked into the flying ship. Hearing Mo Qingyun's order, Luo Jian did not hesitate and immediately took control of the flying ship. Controlling the Blood Cloud flying ship, the ship's speed was obviously faster, almost 5 times faster than before. Soon, Luo Jian controlled the Blood Cloud flying ship and entered the 6th domain. Master, in my memory, there is a secret realm in the 6th domain. When they arrived at the sixth map, Luo Jian had a look of reminiscence on his face. He reported to Mo Qingyun and said, "If we rush to that secret realm, we might be delayed for a while. Do you want to continue or go to that secret realm?" "There's a secret realm on the sixth map?" Hearing Luo Jian's words, Mo Qingyun's expression changed. His face was filled with anticipation as he asked, "What is the origin of that secret realm? How long will it take to get there from here?" In Mo Qingyun's opinion, if the value of the mystic realm was high enough, it was fine to waste some time. After all, going to the Divine Nine Bulls Mountain to search for the complete 9 directions Divine Bull Sword technique was of little significance to him. He might as well fish for something more substantial and explore some mystic realms nearby to obtain something that he could use at the moment. The owner of that mystic realm was once an unrivaled celestial domain-grade powerhouse. His foundation wasn't any weaker than the invincible Sky Tyrant Emperor Lord. In response to Mo Qingyun's question, Luo Jian answered truthfully. After calculating the time, he said, "At our current speed, if we rush to the secret realm to explore, we will be delayed for about 5 days. It's not a loss to waste 5 days or so." Mo Qingyun weighed the pros and cons in his heart and made a decision. He immediately instructed Luo Jian, "5 days isn't too long. It's good to try our luck. Immediately head to the secret realm you mentioned." "Yes." Hearing Mo Qingyun's instructions, Luo Jian no longer hesitated and immediately controlled the blood cloud flying ship to speed up. After instructing Luo Jian, Mo Qingyun's figure flickered and entered the Fortune mainland. While they were hurrying, he could take this opportunity to settle the problem of Niuwei and the bone cows. Several 100,000 powerful bone cows had entered the Fortune mainland and needed to be properly settled. Otherwise, if they wandered around recklessly, it would be a disaster for the Fortune mainland's inhabitants. Inside the Fortune mainland, Mo Qingyun's figure flickered and arrived near the dragon vein. He saw Niuwei commanding the bone cows to expand the area covered by the Sea of Bones. Under the bone cows' frenzied digging, the area of the bone sea around the dragon vein had increased by more than 10 times. As the size of the bone sea increased, the habitat of the bone cows was perfectly solved. At first glance, the bone sea in front of him was almost the same as the 9 Bulls' divine continent. "Master, you're here." Seeing Mo Qingyun's arrival, Niuwei showed a respectful expression and saluted Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun indifferently waved his hand at Niuwei's salute, saying, "I was still thinking about how to settle these bone cows, but now I don't need to worry about it." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Niuwei smiled faintly and assured, "Rest assured, Master, regarding settling the bone cows, I will take good care of it. There won't be any mistakes." Mo Qingyun nodded with satisfaction at Niuwei's answer, then added, "Other than settling the bone cows, I came to find you to tell you something. The number of bone cows is too large. If they wander around, they will threaten the Fortune mainland's inhabitants. You must control their movement area." "Master, you don't need to worry about this." Knowing Mo Qingyun's intention, Niuwei comforted Mo Qingyun, then added, "The bone cow situation is the same as this subordinates. They need to absorb dragon chi and dragon blood. Thus they cannot stray too far from the dragon vein. That would be for the best." Hearing Niuwei's answer, Mo Qingyun's worries were immediately put to rest. This way, it would save him a lot of trouble, and he wouldn't need to worry about the Fortune mainland's inhabitants. As for those who came close to the dragon vein and died in the bone cow's hands, it wouldn't have much of an impact. After all, the number of inhabitants that came here was only a small portion. It wouldn't affect the overall situation. "Since it's like this, I won't disturb you." After giving some instructions to Niuwei, Mo Qingyun didn't stay any longer and directly turned around to leave. After leaving the dragon vein, Mo Qingyun did not leave the Fortune mainland. Instead, he found a place to cultivate. "The last time I helped Luo Jian reconstruct his body, it consumed too many star stones. I need to find more star stones as soon as possible." Looking at the few star stones he had left, Mo Qingyun couldn't help sighing inwardly, feeling a sense of urgency. Not only did he need star stones for his cultivation, Luo Jian and the others also needed a large amount of star stones. If they didn't have enough star stones, their cultivation would stagnate. This was a very serious problem. At this moment, Mo Qingyun suddenly realized that subduing too many subordinates might not be a good thing. At least, in terms of cultivation resources, the consumption was too great, making him feel pressured. Hopefully, I can solve the problem of star stone shortage in the 6th map's secret territory. As soon as Mo Qingyun thought about it, he abandoned all distracting thoughts and devoted himself to cultivation. Chapter 25:25. A few days later, Mo Qingyun stopped cultivating and glanced at the star stone that had turned into dust. After a few days of cultivation, the remaining star stones on his body had also been completely refined by him. If he couldn't find star stones to replenish his energy, he wouldn't be able to continue cultivating. I've used up all my star stones. I need to find more star stones as soon as possible. Mo Qingyun thought to himself, then left the Fortune mainland and returned to the Blood Cloud flying ship. He wanted to see where he was now and how far he was from the arcane realm. If there were a large number of star stones in the secret territory mentioned by Luo Jian, it would solve his urgent problem. Seeing Mo Qingyun's appearance, Luo Jian's face lit up with joy as he said, "Master, you've come at the right time. We're almost at the Grand Sea Secret Palace." "Almost there?" Hearing Luo Jian's words, Mo Qingyun was dazed for a moment. Then his eyes lit up with anticipation as he thought to himself, "It seems like I stopped cultivating at the right time." Knowing that they were almost at the secret territory, Mo Qingyun stood beside Luo Jian and didn't go anywhere else. About 15 minutes later, a vast sea appeared in front of Mo Qingyun's eyes. Raging waves rolled over and over. Looking around, in the middle of the boundless sea, there was a lush island. At the center of the island, there was an ancient palace, presumably that was the Grand Sea Secret Palace. Seeing the Grand Sea Secret Palace on the island, Mo Qingyun was excited, and his anticipation grew stronger. Soon, Mo Qingyun and Luo Jian arrived on the island and saw many people walking around. If Huang Xiaolong guessed correctly, these people had come to the island for the Grand Sea Secret Palace. Someone else has taken the initiative again. Looking at the scene in front of him, Mo Qingyun's brows furrowed, and his mood became a little worse. His luck had worsened, and all kinds of things were not going well. There were always unforeseen events. Forget it. Since we're already here, it's not necessarily a good thing to come early. Mo Qingyun pondered for a moment before he felt relieved. Then, he lifted his foot and rushed towards the Grand Ocean Secret Palace. In his opinion, it was impossible for there to be no obstacles in such a secret palace. Those who arrived first had to break through the restrictions inside before they could enter. It was a place filled with danger at all times. If he was careless and died in the secret mansion, it would be a gift to his descendants. Have you heard? He's just a kid from a one-star realm who obtained an inheritance from the Grand Ocean Secret Palace. That fellow seems to be called Deny. He broke through to the Celestial Domain grade with the help of the power of the inheritance. Not only that, but it is also said that after breaking through to the Celestial Domain grade, he remained undefeated even against the 3-star genius Guoshang. I'm really envious of that kid. He's relying on the inheritance of the Grand Ocean Secret Palace to soar into the sky. If only I could have half of his luck. Along the way to the palace of the Grand Ocean Secret Palace, Missouri Qingyun overheard the conversations of the people around him. Mo Qingyun's expression changed slightly when he heard what these people said. He was surprised as he thought to himself, Deny actually obtained an inheritance of the mighty Ocean Secret Palace and used it to break through to the Celestial Domain grade. This fellow's luck is pretty good. While Mo Qingyun was surprised, his anticipation for the Grand Ocean Secret Palace grew even stronger. It seemed like Luo Jian's words had been true. The Grand Ocean Secret Palace was indeed not simple. Just one inheritance had allowed Deny to soar. If he could obtain all of them, how amazing would that be? Before long, Mo Qingyun and the others arrived at the entrance of the Grand Ocean Secret Palace. The Cloud Phoenix Rock Sparrow tribe has booked this secret palace. Get lost immediately. When Mo Qingyun arrived at the entrance of the secret palace, an arrogant voice was heard. Mo Qingyun frowned when he heard this voice. His expression turned grave. His luck had worsened, so everything was going wrong. Every step was going to be difficult. However, Mo Qingyun didn't mind. At worst, he would just force his way in. Given his current combat power, the people of the Cloud Phoenix Rock Sparrow tribe simply weren't a match for him. What? The Cloud Phoenix Rock Sparrow tribe has booked the entire place? This is too much. The secret palace of the Nine-Bull Divine Continent's land of inheritance has always been open to everyone. Why do they have to monopolize it? Keep your voice down. They are a force from a 3-star plane, so we have to swallow this insult. Let's go. Denai got lucky previously. Guishang will definitely keep a tight watch. Although everyone was furious when they saw the actions of the Cloud Phoenix Rock Sparrow tribe, they didn't dare confront them directly. Gradually, some people left the entrance of the secret palace with unwillingness in their hearts. Although some people left, most people stayed behind to think of a way to enter the secret palace. Should I wait for an opportunity to enter, or should I just force my way in? Mo Qingyun pondered what to do next as he watched the crowd at the entrance of the palace. While Mo Qingyun was pondering, a person from the Cloud Phoenix Rock Sparrow tribe suddenly stepped out and shouted, "A nebula-grade brat dares to have designs on the mighty ocean secret palace. It seems like you won't know the immensity of heaven and earth if I don't show you who's boss." He sneered and raised his hand to point at Mo Qingyun. "Brat, don't just stand there. I'm talking about you." Mo Qingyun froze when he saw his master's action. He knew what the other party meant. The other party wanted to make an example out of him and intimidate the onlookers. Unfortunately, Luo Yunyang had become the target. This brat is really unlucky to have been singled out by Guisi. I'm afraid he'll die miserably even if he doesn't. A nebula-grade brat coming here to join in the fun is courting death. He won't die, but he'll definitely lose an arm. Some people sighed and couldn't help but sympathize with Mo Qingyun when they saw this scene. Under the sympathetic gazes of the crowd, Mo Qingyun looked at Guisi with an indifferent expression and said to himself, "It seems that it is impossible to sneak into the secret palace. Let's just kill our way in." Mo Qingyun walked out of the crowd and told the Cloud Phoenix Rock Sparrow tribe, "I won't say anything unnecessary. Everyone from the Cloud Phoenix Rock Sparrow tribe must leave immediately. Otherwise, don't blame me for being impolite." Everyone was dumbfounded when they heard Mo Qingyun's words. They felt as if their brains weren't enough to process this. What was going on? Hadn't Mo Qingyun been threatened by Guisi? How had he suddenly become the one threatening others? "Brat, what did you say? I dare you to say it again." Guisi was also dumbfounded when he heard Mo Qingyun's words. He thought that he had misheard. Chapter 25-26. Since that's the case, listen carefully. Upon hearing Guisi's words, Mo Qingyun remained calm and said, "The Grand Ocean's secret mansion is now mine. All of you from the Yunfeng Rock Sparrow clan, get out of the Grand Ocean's secret mansion in 10 breaths' time." As soon as Mo Qingyun's words left his mouth, everyone around him was stunned. This time, they heard it clearly. Mo Qingyun was ordering the people from the Yunfeng Rock Sparrow clan. This kid is too arrogant. How dare he talk to the people from the Yunfeng Rock Sparrow clan like that? I think he's crazy. His current actions are simply courting death. Although his actions are a little crazy, his courage is admirable. That's right. If everyone dared to act like this, how could the Yunfeng Rock Sparrow clan be so arrogant? Upon seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, everyone felt sorry for Mo Qingyun, but at the same time, they also admired him. Seeing the attitude of the people around him, Guisi's face immediately darkened, and a strong sense of anger arose. In his opinion, Mo Qingyun's current actions were a slap to the Yunfeng Rock Sparrow clan's face. "I only wanted to teach you a lesson, but since you insist on courting death, you can't blame me for this." As soon as Guisi finished speaking, he released a murderous intent. He was determined to kill Mo Qingyun. In his opinion, if he did not kill Mo Qingyun, it would be difficult to intimidate the people around him. As soon as Guisi finished speaking, he moved and clawed at Mo Qingyun. Guisi leaped out like a phoenix and pounced at Mo Qingyun. As he charged at Mo Qingyun, his right hand bent into a claw, and Saint Power madly gathered in his palm. In the blink of an eye, a giant gray rock claw blasted out from his palm. Seeing Guisi's actions, a blue-haired youth from the Yunfeng Rock Sparrow clan smiled faintly and said, "Brother Guisi, don't kill him directly. Just cripple his cultivation and hang him at the entrance of the secret mansion as a warning to others." Hearing the young man's words, the people around him nodded, feeling that his idea was good. This way, not only would they be able to teach Mo Qingyun a lesson, but they would also be able to salvage the reputation of the Cloud Phoenix Sparrow race. He could also use this to intimidate the crowd and let them know the consequences of offending the Cloud Phoenix Sparrow clan. Got it. Hearing the blue-haired young man's words, Guisi immediately responded. A cold smile appeared on his face as he said, "Kid, I originally wanted to give you a quick death, but since third brother Pekong asked me to, I can only let you down." And like things, Scram. Looking at the incoming Guisi, Mo Qingyun had a look of disdain on his face as he waved his hand like he was swatting a fly. As Mo Qingyun waved his hand, a terrifying wave of Saint Power gathered on his palm. Then, 3 black palm shadows with threatening auras blasted out from his palms. 3 black palm shadows blasted out. One of them intercepted Guisi's claw shadow, while the other 2 blasted towards Guisi. Bang! Faced with the domineering bombardment of the palm shadows, the claw shadow that blasted towards Mo Qingyun was instantly shattered. Then, the 3 palm shadows blasted towards Guisi, blocking his escape route. How can this be? How can this kid be so powerful? Seeing that his full-powered claw attack was easily defeated by Mo Qingyun, Guisi's face was filled with shock. This unforeseen event came too suddenly for him. Rock Phoenix Sparrow Slash. Faced with the 3 palm shadows, Guisi did not dare to be careless. He immediately took out his long saber and slashed down. Under Guisi's saber, a threatening saber light blasted out like a phoenix. Then, the 3 palm attacks were blocked by the saber radiance. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The 3 palm shadows blasted onto the saber light, producing 3 consecutive sounds as if cloth was being torn apart. After these 3 sounds, Guisi's blade light was smashed into smithereens by the domineering palm shadows. Guisi's cultivation was only at the late-stage galaxy grade. Given his strength, he naturally could not block Mo Qingyun's palm power. This can't be real. Guisi's face turned pale when he saw this, as if he had seen a ghost. At this moment, he was afraid. He was terrified of Mo Qingyun. The feeling that Mo Qingyun gave him was really too strange. It gave him a kind of fear of the unknown. Bang, bang, bang. While Guisi was panicking, the palm shadows blasted out by Mo Qingyun landed on his body. After being blasted by the 3 palm shadows, Guisi was blasted away and crashed heavily into the palace. Then, Guisi fell to the ground like a dead dog. He did not even have the strength to get up. Upon seeing this, the members of the Cloud Phoenix Sparrow tribe, who had originally been smiling, were shocked. They had originally thought that, given Guisi's late-stage galaxy-grade cultivation, subduing a nebula-grade kid would be enough. Unexpectedly, the result was the exact opposite. Guisi had actually been crippled by Mo Qingyun's tyrannical attack. Am I seeing things? That kid is so strong. What a great trick. He's playing the pig to eat the tiger. Guisi paid a painful price for his carelessness. Although he defeated Guisi's strength is only at the bottom of the Cloud Phoenix Sparrow tribe. At the last moment, he managed to drag someone down with him. This brat isn't at a loss. Upon seeing Mo Qingyun's shocking actions, the surrounding people immediately got excited. Some were shocked, while others were mocking him. It turns out that you're a ruthless character. We have been deceived by you. Guopotion's face darkened when he saw that Guisi had been crippled. It seemed like he wanted to teach Mo Qingyun a lesson personally. As soon as Guopatian said that, he slowly walked towards Mo Qingyun and said coldly, "You don't have to hide your cultivation base. Reveal your true cultivation base. This method of concealing one's cultivation base can only be used once." Upon hearing Guopotian's words, Mo Qingyun couldn't help but chuckle. This fellow was too full of himself. However, after thinking about it, it made sense. A nebula-grade martialist could crush a galaxy-grade martialist. There was only one possibility. He had concealed his true cultivation base. "You're overthinking it. This is my true cultivation base." Mo Qingyun responded indifferently to Guopotian's words. Then he glanced at Guopatian and the others and said, "It seems like you guys aren't willing to cooperate. It's too troublesome for you to come one by one. The rest of you can come at me together." Upon hearing Mo Qingyun's words, the faces of the members of the Cloud Phoenix Sparrow tribe darkened. Mo Qingyun was too arrogant. This was a great humiliation to them. However, although they were furious, they didn't attack Mo Qingyun together. In their opinion, if they attacked together, the Cloud Phoenix Sparrow tribe's reputation would be completely destroyed. How arrogant! Guopatian didn't care about Mo Qingyun's request. Instead, he immediately attacked. Chapter 25-27. As soon as Guopatian made his move, a wave of quasi-celestial domain-grade aura was released from his body. Surging waves of saint power erupted from Guopatian's body and transformed into a powerful mystic ability. Rock Phoenix seals the 4 Cs. A huge rock phoenix appeared above Mo Qingyun and flapped its wings at Mo Qingyun. As the rock phoenix flapped its wings, waves of saint power transformed into huge rocks that enveloped Mo Qingyun. Then, Mo Qingyun was trapped in a rock cage and became a lamb waiting to be slaughtered. Everyone was shocked when they saw the power of Guopatian's mystic ability. He is indeed a genius of the Cloud Phoenix Rock Sparrow tribe. Guopatian displayed earth-shattering power the moment he made his move. Even a celestial domain-grade powerhouse wouldn't be able to escape from this mystic ability for a short period of time. It seems like this battle is over. That kid is just a flash in the pan. Everyone sighed when they saw the power of Guopatian's mystic ability. They felt sorry for Mo Qingyun. Right at this moment, the corners of Mo Qingyun's mouth curled up slightly. He smiled disdainfully and said, "You really are confident in yourself. You actually dare to fight me by yourself. How much stronger do you think you are compared with C? Mysterious underworld palm." As soon as Mo Qingyun said that, he waved his right palm and blasted out a wave of cold saint power. The saint energy blasted out and turned into 9 palm shadows, bombarding the rock prison one after another. Bang! 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 The palm shadows blasted against the rock cage one after another, causing a series of loud bangs and terrifying shockwaves. When the shockwaves erupted, cracks appeared on the rock cage, as if it would collapse at the slightest touch. Break! After cracking the rock cage, Mo Qingyun blasted out a punch that violently hit the rock cage. The rock cage, which had been on the verge of collapsing after being blasted by Mo Qingyun's punch, crumbled before everyone's eyes. Seeing this scene, the surrounding people were stunned. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. With the power of Guopatian's ability, it couldn't even block a single move from Mo Qingyun. If that was the case, how strong was Mo Qingyun? His strength has already reached the celestial domain grade. Someone with a nebula-grade cultivation has the strength of a celestial domain grade. How monstrous is this kid? Could it be that he's a genius from a 4-star force? For a moment, the way everyone looked at Mo Qingyun changed greatly. In their opinion, only a powerful force could nurture a monster like Mo Qingyun. After neutralizing Guopatian's attack with a single palm strike, Mo Qingyun didn't want to waste any more time with Guopatian. He directly attacked Guopatian and said, "Since you guys don't want to come at me together, I'll take care of you one by one. Then, I'll enter the Grand Ocean's secret palace and explore." Dark Underworld Palm. As soon as Mo Qingyun said that, he executed the dark underworld palm once again and attacked Guopatian and the others. After knowing Mo Qingyun's strength and seeing Mo Qingyun take the initiative to attack them, Guopatian and the others' expressions changed immediately. Bang! 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 In the face of Mo Qingyun's powerful onslaught, some people with lower cultivation were directly blasted off their feet. In just a short moment, Guopatian and the others guarding the entrance of the Grand Ocean Secret Palace lost their ability to fight. Scram! After crippling Guopatian and the others, Mo Qingyun shouted at them and sent them flying. After using his aura to send Guopatian and the others flying, Mo Qingyun's footsteps didn't stop. Instead, he walked straight into the Grand Ocean Secret Palace. When Mo Qingyun entered the Grand Ocean Secret Palace, he summoned a herd of bone cows and made them guard the entrance of the secret palace. When nearly 10,000 galaxy-grade bone cows appeared, they immediately exuded a frightening aura that scared the people at the entrance. So many bone cows. There are nearly 10,000 of them, and all of them have galaxy-grade cultivation bases. Don't bone cows only appear in the bone ocean of the demon bull demon? Why are there bone cows here? Where did these bone cows come from? Did that kid summon them? Their fight must have triggered the taboo of the Grand Ocean Secret Palace and released these bone cows. When they saw the bone cows in front of them, the surrounding people were both shocked and frightened. Their expressions all turned solemn. With nearly 10,000 galaxy-grade bone cows blocking the way, they definitely wouldn't be able to force their way in given their strength. As a result, they would have to miss out on the treasures in the Grand Ocean Secret Palace. After summoning the bone cows, Mo Qingyun entered the Grand Ocean Secret Palace and started searching for them. The Grand Ocean Secret Palace was extremely spacious. It was like a small world of its own, and the main hall and secret rooms were intertwined. Even with Mo Qingyun's perception, he couldn't perceive the whole picture of the secret palace with his perception. To be exact, Mo Qingyun couldn't sense the tip of the iceberg in the Grand Ocean Secret Palace. It seems like the secret rooms in the outer area of the Grand Ocean Secret Palace have already been explored. Mo Qingyun glanced around and gained a clear understanding of the situation around him. If he wanted to reap some benefits in the Grand Ocean Secret Palace, he would have to go deep into the interior of the secret palace. After discovering this, Mo Qingyun no longer hesitated and started to go deeper into the secret palace. Mo Qingyun's figure flashed, directly passing through several large halls and arriving at a majestic hall. The scale of this hall was much larger than the previous ones, and there were also many more secret rooms that were connected to each other. Mo Qingyun glanced around before flying towards a secret room to see if he could reap some benefits. Mo Qingyun walked into the secret room and discovered that it was a cultivation room. He could feel a powerful pressure pressing down on him. If he wasn't mistaken, the purpose of this cultivation room should be to train one's physique. It's a pity that my time is limited and I can't cultivate here for a long time. When he thought about his current situation, Mo Qingyun sighed and left the cultivation room. After leaving the cultivation room, Mo Qingyun's footsteps didn't stop as he continued to walk towards the other rooms. To Mo Qingyun's disappointment, most of the secret rooms were empty. It seems like I have to go deeper into the Grand Ocean Secret Palace to reap some benefits. With this thought in mind, Mo Qingyun continued to venture deeper into the secret palace to explore the other secret chambers. Several hours later, as Mo Qingyun continued to explore deeper, he came to the outside of a palace and stopped. There's an array here, but it seems like no one has entered it yet. Looking at the array in front of him, Mo Qingyun's face lit up with joy and anticipation. Although he had to break the array in order to enter the hall, it was worth it to reap some benefits. Chapter 25-28. While Mo Qingyun was observing the array formation, he summoned Luo Jian to help him break the array formation. Firstly, he was a native powerhouse of the Nine-Bull Divine Continent. Secondly, his cultivation had once been at the peak of the Celestial Domain grade. In comparison, his experience and insight were much better than Mo Qingyun's. Luo Jian come and observe this array formation. See if you can break it." Upon seeing Luo Jian appear beside him, Mo Qingyun didn't say anything else. Instead, he immediately ordered him. Upon hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Luo Jian responded and started to observe the array formation. As Luo Jian observed the array formation, he frowned and his eyes flickered continuously. After a while, Luo Jian retracted his gaze and said solemnly, "Master, based on my observation of this array formation, even if I use the 1,000-elephant raging bull blood array, I'm afraid I won't be able to destroy it. If we want to break it, it seems like we can only use brute force." "Use brute force to break this array formation?" Hearing Luo Jian's suggestion, Mo Qingyun frowned, and a difficult expression appeared on his face. He knew very well how difficult it was to break this array formation by force. However, since there was no other choice, they could only use this method. "Do it." As soon as Mo Qingyun thought this, he stopped thinking about it and immediately gave the order to Luo Jian. As Mo Qingyun waved his hand, 12 imposing palm shadows appeared around his body. Then, Mo Qingyun controlled the 12 palm shadows and bombarded the array formation violently. As Mo Qingyun bombarded the array formation, Luo Jian didn't hesitate either. He immediately helped Mo Qingyun break the array formation. Bang, bang, bang. As Mo Qingyun and Luo Jian attacked, a series of loud bangs were heard and a storm of sacred power swept across. In the face of Mo Qingyun and Luo Jian's frenzied bombardment, the array formation started to shake violently, as if it would collapse at any moment. There's hope. Upon seeing the array formation shake violently, Mo Qingyun's face lit up and he became excited. This array had existed for too long, and its power was no longer what it used to be. The power of the array was also almost exhausted. With their attacks, as long as they spent some time, the chances of breaking the formation were still very high. With our current offensive power, we are still lacking. Call Niue out to help. Mo Qingyun thought for a moment and immediately made a decision to summon Niue. When Mo Qingyun summoned Niue, he also summoned some bone bulls to help attack the array formation. As the saying goes, there's strength in numbers. Although the bone cow's cultivation was not high, they had the advantage in numbers. Let's attack the formation together. After summoning Niue and the rest, Mo Qingyun ordered them to continue attacking the formation. Hearing Mo Qingyun's instructions, Niue immediately understood and led the skeletal bulls to attack together. Boom, boom, boom. With the addition of Niue and the rest, the attacks immediately became fiercer, blasting until the array formation shook violently. From the looks of it, it was like a candle flickering in the wind, about to be extinguished. It's about time. Increase the power a little more. Seeing the array formation's performance, Mo Qingyun's expression lit up, and he hurriedly instructed Niue and the rest. Under Mo Qingyun's command, everyone's attacks immediately increased, blasting until the array formation shook even more violently. Gradually, the light emitted by the array formation began to dim rapidly. At this rate, it would probably not take long before it was forcefully destroyed. Bang! After an unknown period of time, under the attacks of Mo Qingyun and the rest, the array formation finally collapsed. As the array formation collapsed, the scene in the main hall was reflected in Mo Qingyun's eyes. The space in the main hall was not big, only a few hundred square meters. One could see everything inside with a glance. Under Mo Qingyun's gaze, he saw that the inside of the main hall was filled with dazzling items. There were star stones needed for cultivation, materials for refining weapons, and materials for setting up arrays. There were many types. The only pity was that the grades of these materials were not particularly high. From the looks of it, this should be a low-grade treasure vault. Looking at the items piled up in the main hall, Luo Jian gave a conclusion and sighed inwardly. If it's a high-grade treasure vault, we'll have profited greatly this time. Compared to Luo Jian's pity, Mo Qingyun was rather indifferent. He smiled faintly and said, Although it's not a high-grade treasure vault, the star stones in this treasure vault have solved my urgent need. To Mo Qingyun, the most important thing now was to solve the problem of star stones as soon as possible. Now that he had obtained a large number of star stones in this treasure vault, it was a great harvest. As for the other items, it would not be too late to slowly search for them. In any case, they would not be used in a short period of time. After chatting with Luo Jian for a while, Mo Qingyun walked into the main hall and sent Luo Jian and the rest off. Mo Qingyun walked into the main hall. He did not continue to observe and immediately began to collect the star stones. I didn't expect the number of star stones to actually reach the level of close to 100 million. After collecting all the star stones, Mo Qingyun revealed a pleasantly surprised smile. His heart was filled with joy. Such a harvest had far exceeded his expectations. Originally, he had thought that under the influence of the bloody light disaster door, his harvest would be very limited. After all, before he had arrived at the mighty ocean secret mansion, someone had already obtained the inheritance. There should not be many treasures left for him. Unexpectedly, he had actually found a treasure vault. This was really an unexpected harvest. Also, the aura of these star stones seems to be much stronger than before. While Mo Qingyun was exclaiming about the number of star stones, he also discovered the difference in the star stones. He thought to himself, if I'm not mistaken, the grade of these star stones should be higher than the ones I obtained before. After discovering this, Mo Qingyun's mood became even better. He turned his head to look at other things. With these cultivation materials, it'll be easier to refine weapons and elixirs in the future. Looking at the cultivation resources in front of him, Mo Qingyun thought to himself and knew how to deal with them. After a short while, the cultivation resources in front of him were all taken away by Mo Qingyun. After moving everything in the main hall, Mo Qingyun did not continue to linger and went to explore other places in the secret mansion. The collection in a low-grade treasure vault is already so rich. What will a high-grade treasure vault be like? With strong expectations, Mo Qingyun lifted his foot and walked out of the hall, hoping to gain something new. When Mo Qingyun walked out of the hall, a few figures entered his line of sight and quickly approached him. When these people saw Mo Qingyun, their faces immediately darkened and emitted a cold aura. Judging from their expressions, it seemed like they were going to kill Mo Qingyun and rob him of his belongings. Chapter 25-29. When he saw their actions, Mo Qingyun stopped in his tracks and looked at them indifferently. He wanted to see what these people were planning to do by blocking the exit. While Mo Qingyun was sizing up the other party, the others were sizing up Mo Qingyun as well. Their eyes were filled with contempt. A nebula-grade brat was actually able to enter this place? Guapatian and the others are really useless. Based on the commotion just now, it should have been a quasi-nebula-grade powerhouse. He must have broken through the blockade. If this brat was able to enter, then someone must have broken through the blockade and slipped in by luck. A nebula-grade brat wants to get a share of the mighty ocean secret palace? He is really too naive. As these people conversed, they looked at Mo Qingyun with even more disdain. In their opinion, a mystic realm like the mighty ocean secret palace wasn't something that Mo Qingyun could get a share of. After some discussion, one of them walked out and looked at Mo Qingyun with a frosty expression. He said coldly, "I don't care how you came in. Since you dared to disobey our orders, this is already a capital offense." This person walked into the large hall like a judge, announcing Mo Qingyun's fate. As soon as he said that, he took out a huge axe and released a quasi-nebula-grade aura. Frost Rock Dragon Breath Cleave. The huge axe emitted an icy blue glow as it was cleaved down by this person. Then, a huge axe light blasted out. When this axe light blasted out, it exuded a dragon's might that swept towards Mo Qingyun like a dragon's breath. Humph! Upon seeing this person's actions, Mo Qingyun snorted unhappily. His expression darkened as he said angrily, "How dare a quasi-celestial domain grade ant wantonly judge the life and death of others?" You think too highly of yourself. As soon as Mo Qingyun said that, his figure moved and met the other party head-on. Mo Qingyun took a step forward and clenched his right fist. A scarlet flaming sword appeared in his palm. Chop! After condensing the divine flame heaven splitting sword, Mo Qingyun slashed towards the axe light, blasting out a sword light with a violent aura. The sword light blasted out like a flood dragon, colliding with the huge axe light. Bang! When the axe light and the sword light collided, a dazzling light burst out and exploded in midair. When the light flashed in the air, the axe light shattered the sword light and continued to crush Mo Qingyun. Seeing this scene, the people blocking the exit immediately revealed complacent sneers. This brat is really overestimating himself. He actually wants to fight with Guokong. If he wasn't so arrogant, why would he enter the Grand Ocean Secret Palace and try to get a share of the loot? Looks like the battle is over. Seeing the battle between Mo Qingyun and Yi Mo, the spectators all revealed disdainful expressions. In their eyes, Mo Qingyun and Guokong were not on the same level, so there was no suspense in this battle. While the spectators were whispering, Guokong revealed a complacent expression and sneered. "Brat, you are still too inexperienced. I am not sure if I can pronounce the life and death of others, but I can pronounce the life and death of you. Die." Scarlet Flaming Dragon Elephant Slash. As soon as Guokong finished speaking, he turned the huge axe in his hand and slashed towards Mo Qingyun. Under Guokong's wave, the huge axe immediately emitted a scarlet light, as if a giant elephant and a giant dragon were charging at each other. Roar! A towering axe light, accompanied by the roar of a dragon elephant, rushed towards Mo Qingyun. Under the bombardment of this axe light, the light in the entire hall turned into a crimson-red color. Facing Guokong's attack, Mo Qingyun did not hold back his strength. His left hand quickly slapped the void. As Mo Qingyun waved his hand, 12 gloomy and cold palm shadows quickly condensed around his body. As the 12 palm shadows formed, they surrounded Mo Qingyun and resisted the approaching axe light. Bang, bang, bang. Facing the crazy bombardment of the palm shadows, the axe light at the front was scattered in the blink of an eye. After scattering the axe light, the attack of the 12 palm shadows did not decrease, and once again bombarded the dragon elephant axe light. Bang, bang, bang. The 12 palm shadows bombarded the dragon elephant axe light, and once again there was a loud sound, and the dragon elephant axe light was scattered. After the dragon elephant axe light was scattered, the 12 palm shadows did not attack again and returned to Mo Qingyun's side. Seeing this scene, not only was Guokong stunned, the spectators were also dumbfounded. The strength that Mo Qingyun possessed did not seem to be what they had imagined. He was not as weak as they had thought. Pronounce my life and death. After neutralizing Guokong's attack, Mo Qingyun smiled disdainfully and said coldly, "I would like to see how you pronounce my life and death." As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, his figure moved and he took the initiative to charge at Guokong. When Mo Qingyun took the initiative to attack, the 12 palm shadows formed a line and danced like a dragon. Mo Qingyun's figure flickered a few times before he arrived in front of Guokong and slashed his sword at him. "You're courting death." Guokong's face darkened when he saw Mo Qingyun take the initiative to attack him. He was furious. In his opinion, Mo Qingyun's current actions were a form of humiliation to him. He was a quasi-celestial domain-grade powerhouse, yet he was being looked down upon by a nebula-grade kid. He couldn't accept this. Mad Dragon Crazy Elephant Cleave. Facing Mo Qingyun's attack, Guokong roared and frantically brandished his giant axe. As Guokong attacked, streaks of imposing axe lights blasted out of his giant axe. However, as soon as these axe lights appeared, they were scattered by the palm shadows. They did not pose any threat to Mo Qingyun. After controlling the palm shadows to scatter the axe lights, Mo Qingyun did not hesitate. He immediately brandished his sword and counterattacked. This kid's strength has actually reached this level. Guokong finally realized that something was wrong when he saw his all-out attack being easily neutralized by Mo Qingyun. He had been deceived by Mo Qingyun's cultivation base. The strength that Mo Qingyun possessed was completely different from his own cultivation base. With this discovery, Guokong stopped underestimating Mo Qingyun and went all out to exchange blows with him. However, even so, the situation did not change. Under Mo Qingyun's attack, Guokong unleashed all of his abilities but was still firmly suppressed by Mo Qingyun. Moreover, as time passed, Guokong's situation became worse and worse. How could this be? Guokong felt extremely sullen when he saw his situation. He was extremely puzzled. In his opinion, the strength that Mo Qingyun possessed was a little too strong to the point of being unreasonable. Compared to Guokong, Mo Qingyun's thoughts were the exact opposite. After exchanging blows with Guokong, Mo Qingyun realized that he did not know anything and sighed. The power of the divine flame sky splitter sword is too ordinary without the combination of sword techniques. When I leave the mighty ocean secret palace, I have to seize the time to cultivate the green ox with sword art and increase the power of the divine flame sky splitter sword. Chapter 25-30. As Mo Qingyun increased the intensity of his attacks, Guokong's situation became even more precarious. Upon seeing that Guokong's situation wasn't looking good, the expressions of the people around them turned grave. I didn't expect this kid's strength to actually reach such a level. We all misjudged him. Guokong's situation isn't looking too good. Let's stop watching and help him immediately. Although this kid has hidden his strength well, we still can't change his fate if we join forces. After a short discussion, they joined the battle and got ready to join forces to deal with Mo Qingyun. Trying to bully me with numbers? Mo Qingyun curled his lips in disdain when he saw them join forces. Then he sneered and said, "In that case, don't blame me." Guokong and the others didn't really understand what Mo Qingyun meant. Upon hearing Mo Qingyun's words, they instinctively thought that Mo Qingyun was going to use a powerful mystic ability. "Kid, don't try to be mysterious. We aren't scared." Without waiting for Guokong to finish his words, he froze on the spot, his pair of eyes wide open. Guokong wasn't the only one. The other people beside him were also pale with fright. There was actually a late-stage, celestial domain-grade powerhouse by Mo Qingyun's side. This was a little scary. Luo Jian, get rid of them. After summoning Luo Jian, Mo Qingyun ordered him to deal with the others. Upon hearing Mo Qingyun's order, Luo Jian stopped the reinforcements without hesitation. After instructing Luo Jian to deal with the others, Mo Qingyun glanced at Guokong and smiled faintly. "Now that there is no one else to disturb us, let's continue our battle." When he heard Mo Qingyun's words, the flesh on Guokong's face twitched. How could he still have the guts to continue fighting with Mo Qingyun after seeing Luo Jian? The moment Luo Jian appeared, the outcome of their battle with Mo Qingyun was already clear. Little brother, we were wrong. Can you spare us this time?" Knowing the situation they were in, Guokong immediately put down his pride and begged Mo Qingyun for mercy. In response to Guokong's pleas, Mo Qingyun shook his head and smiled faintly. "A person must be trustworthy. Since you have declared my death, how can you not fulfill your promise?" Upon hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Guokong immediately revealed a bitter smile, his heart extremely depressed. He wanted to keep his word, but he didn't have the strength to do so. I hate people who go back on their words the most. Since that's the case, don't blame me for being impolite. Seeing that Guokong didn't make a move, Mo Qingyun's expression turned cold, and he took the initiative to attack Guokong. When he saw Mo Qingyun's actions, the gloominess in Guokong's heart intensified to the extreme. This was the first time he had heard of someone forcing others to kill him. Madman, you're a madman." Seeing Mo Qingyun's crazy actions, Guokong had an agitated expression as he roared madly at Mo Qingyun. At this moment, under Mo Qingyun's coercion, he had already lost his mind. Dark mysterious palm. Regarding Guokong's crazy behavior, Mo Qingyun directly chose to ignore it and attacked him fiercely. Guokong wasn't Mo Qingyun's match to begin with. Now that he had lost his mind, he was naturally even less of a match for Mo Qingyun. Bang, bang, bang. In a short period of time, he was sent flying by one palm shadow after another under Mo Qingyun's attacks. Being bombarded by one palm shadow after another, Guokong was immediately seriously injured. The aura on his body was extremely weakened. After severely injuring Guokong, Mo Qingyun did not stop but continued to attack him. Mo Qingyun's figure flashed, arriving beside Guokong, and slashed out a sword at him. Puchi. Facing Mo Qingyun's sword, Guokong's head was directly chopped off, revealing an unwilling expression. When Guokong was beheaded, a small figure flew out from his head. When Guokong's primordial spirit escaped, he had a terrified expression on his face and hurriedly fled outside the hall. Stay. Looking at Guokong's primordial spirit fleeing in a hurry, Mo Qingyun waved his arm and controlled the 12 palm shadows to chase after it. Under the pursuit of the 12 palm shadows, Guokong's primordial spirit was immediately caught up and was bombarded by one of the palm shadows. Bang! Under the bombardment of the palm shadow, Guokong's primordial spirit immediately exploded and his divine soul was directly destroyed. After beheading Guokong, Mo Qingyun looked at Luo Jian and waited for the battle to end. Bang, bang, bang. When Mo Qingyun looked at Luo Jian, Guokong's companions were all blasted apart by Luo Jian. With Guokong's companions killed, the battle between both sides also ended. Let's go. After dealing with Guokong and his companions, Mo Qingyun walked out of the hall and continued to explore the Grand Ocean secret mansion. When he arrived outside the hall, Mo Qingyun looked around and then flew to the west. According to his perception, there was a powerful fluctuation of formation power in the west, which presumably had not been explored by anyone. Not long after, Mo Qingyun flew and arrived in front of a hall. This hall was a little special. There were several pools inside, each of which was filled with a dark blue liquid. Around the pools, there were several statues holding strange magic treasures in their hands. This is the 9 Dragons Sea Overturning Formation. Looking at the scene in the hall, Luo Jian revealed a surprised expression as he recognized its origin. Hearing Luo Jian's words, Mo Qingyun immediately became curious and asked, "What is the 9 Dragons Sea Overturning Formation? Can you tell me its origin?" "Yes." Luo Jian nodded. Then, a look of reminiscence appeared on his face as he said, "I once saw some descriptions of the 9 Dragons Sea Overturning Formation in an ancient text. It's a very ancient formation. It said that once this formation is activated, it will create a violent ocean tide illusion, which will double the effects of one's cultivation. I didn't expect it to have such an effect." After listening to Luo Jian's explanation, Mo Qingyun was pleasantly surprised. He considered moving the 9 Dragons Sea Overturning Formation away. With this thought in mind, Mo Qingyun looked at the entrance of the hall and frowned slightly. He said, "Before entering the hall, we have to break the formation at the entrance." After saying that, Mo Qingyun began to observe the formation and think about how to break it to enter the hall. After observing for a while, Mo Qingyun made a decision. He still chose to break it by force. After making up his mind, Mo Qingyun and Luo Jian attacked the formation at the entrance together. The power of this array formation was much weaker than the previous one. It did not take long before it was blasted apart. After destroying the formation blocking the way, Mo Qingyun walked into the main hall and arrived before the 9 Dragons overturning the sea formation. As soon as Mo Qingyun approached the 9 Dragons Sea Overturning Formation, it was activated and erupted with a terrifying force. Chapter 25:31. While Mo Qingyun was still in shock, he was enveloped by the formation and fell into an illusory realm. A sea with no end in sight appeared before Mo Qingyun's eyes, surging with shocking waves. Huge sea demons followed behind the waves and quickly approached Mo Qingyun. In a short while, over 10,000 sea demons approached and attacked Mo Qingyun and Luo Jian. Luo Jian, are you sure that the Nine Dragons Sea Overturning formation is a formation that assists in cultivation? Seeing this scene, Mo Qingyun was shocked and immediately questioned Luo Jian. Hearing Mo Qingyun's question, Luo Jian revealed an awkward expression and hurriedly laughed. Master, I've only seen some descriptions of the Nine Dragons Sea Overturning formation in ancient books. However, I'm not very clear about the true situation of this formation. After hearing Luo Jian's answer, Mo Qingyun did not say anything else and began to defend against the sea demon's attacks. Mysterious underworld palm. Mo Qingyun blasted out a palm, and 12 powerful palm shadows quickly formed around him. 12 palm shadows were formed, and they rushed toward the sea monsters, blocking their attacks. Although there were many sea demons, they were not very strong and were only at the early stage of the nebula realm. Given Mo Qingyun and Luo Jian's strength, it was not difficult to deal with them. Before long, the 10,000 sea demons that besieged them were killed by Mo Qingyun and Luo Jian's tyrannical attacks. After killing all the attacking sea demons, Mo Qingyun's expression relaxed slightly, and he began to think of a way to break out of the formation. Although these sea demons were not strong, there were too many of them. A few more waves of them would be a headache. However, before Mo Qingyun could relax, another wave of sea demons appeared. This wave of sea demons was stronger than the previous one and had reached the intermediate stage of the nebula realm. From the looks of it, the sea demons that appear in the later stages will become even stronger. Seeing the strength of the second wave of sea monsters, Mo Qingyun frowned and immediately guessed a possibility. After discovering this, Mo Qingyun came up with a countermeasure. He immediately told Luo Jian, "Don't kill all of these sea monsters. Kill some of them and imprison the rest." Yes. Hearing Mo Qingyun's explanation, Luo Jian immediately nodded and understood Mo Qingyun's idea. According to Mo Qingyun's analysis, if these sea monsters were not killed, the next wave would not come. After instructing Luo Jian, Mo Qingyun began to observe the array formation. He wanted to break the array formation as soon as possible. Not long after, under Luo Jian's all-out attack, a portion of the sea monsters were killed. As for the remaining small portion, he had also imprisoned them. Just as Mo Qingyun had guessed, the next wave of sea monsters would not appear until all of them had been killed. As the sea monsters were imprisoned, Mo Qingyun and Luo Jian's situation was greatly alleviated. Without the attacks and disturbances of the sea monsters, Luo Jian also began to observe the array formation, thinking about how to get out. Time passed slowly as the two of them observed the array formation. Bang, bang, bang. After an unknown period of time, the sea monsters that were imprisoned by Luo Jian suddenly self-destructed. As these sea monsters self-destructed, a new wave of sea monsters appeared. This wave was stronger than the previous one. You go and deal with the sea monsters first. I will think of a way to break the array formation. Seeing the new wave of sea monsters appear, Mo Qingyun's expression became serious, and he immediately instructed Luo Jian. Okay. Hearing Mo Qingyun's instructions, Luo Jian responded and went to deal with the sea monsters. Not long after, under Luo Jian's attack, a large portion of the sea monsters were quickly killed. The remaining small portion of them were imprisoned again. While Luo Jian was imprisoning the sea monsters, Mo Qingyun suddenly understood the purpose of a Nine Dragons Sea Overturning array formation. It seems that I have misunderstood. The Nine Dragons Sea Overturning array formation's auxiliary cultivation is not to increase one's cultivation level faster. Mo Qingyun's heart skipped a beat as he guessed the purpose of the Nine Dragons Sea Overturning array formation. He turned to look at the trapped sea monsters and said, "These sea monsters are getting stronger with each wave. If my guess is correct, the purpose of the Nine Dragons Sea Overturning array formation should be to give birth to powerful sea monsters for the people who enter to train their combat strength." With this thought, Mo Qingyun's previous worries disappeared. He decided to use the sea monsters to train his divine ability. If his guess was correct, once he passed all the tests, he would automatically leave the array formation. In that case, I will use this array formation to cultivate the green oxwood sword technique. In Mo Qingyun's opinion, since he could not break the array formation in a short time, he would use it to train his divine ability. This way, not only would he not waste time, he could also use it to break the array formation and leave. Mo Qingyun made up his mind. He abandoned the distracting thoughts in his mind and immersed himself in cultivating the green oxwood sword technique. Following Mo Qingyun's observation, he slowly memorized the cultivation formula of the green oxwood sword art. Not long after, Mo Qingyun clenched his right hand, and a scarlet flame sword appeared in his palm. It emitted a terrifying heat wave. After materializing the heaven-piercing divine flame sword, Mo Qingyun walked towards the sea monsters and instructed Luo Jian, release the sea monsters. I want to use them to train my divine ability. Yes. After hearing Mo Qingyun's instructions, Luo Jian immediately nodded and removed the imprisonment of the sea monsters. When the sea demons came out of the myriad manifestations wild ox blood formation, they had ferocious appearances as they pounced towards Mo Qingyun. Green ox heaven-piercing slash. Looking at the rapidly approaching sea monsters, Mo Qingyun waved his right arm, and the heaven-piercing divine flame sword shone brightly. Then, two powerful emerald saint energies blasted out from the heaven-piercing divine flame sword. When the two saint energies blasted out, they rapidly transformed into two huge raging bulls. Two streaks of azure ox sword radiance formed, and with an irresistible force, they charged into the group of sea monsters. Bang, bang, bang. Facing the impact of the two green ox sword radiance, the sea monsters were immediately blasted away. Some are even directly smashed into pieces. In just one wave of attack, more than half of the hundreds of sea monsters that rushed towards Mo Qingyun were killed by the sword radiance. What a domineering sword technique. When I use the sword technique, the power of the heaven-piercing divine flame sword has indeed skyrocketed. Seeing the might of his sword, Mo Qingyun's expression immediately became joyful, and his mood became excited. The green oxwood sword technique had a total of 4 techniques. Each technique was stronger than the previous one. They were the green ox sky-piercing slash, green ox soaring pillar, green ox ghost incantation, and greenwood divine ox formation. Just the first technique was already so powerful. Wouldn't the power of the following 3 be even more terrifying? When Mo Qingyun thought about it, he couldn't wait to use the second technique. He really wanted to know how powerful the second technique of the green oxwood sword technique would be. Chapter 2532. Soaring Bull Stave. Mo Qingyun flipped his wrist and held the divine flame sky-splitting sword with both hands. He then stabbed it in front of him. Waves of violent saint energy poured into the divine flame sky-splitting sword, and the silhouettes of bulls rushed out. As these bulls rushed out, they formed a powerful domain, turning the surroundings into an ancient forest. Then, green sword lights in the shape of wooden stakes shot out from the ground and blasted towards the sea demons above. PFFF, PFFF, PFFF. Faced with the bombardment of the green sword lights, the sea demons were killed one after another and disappeared before Mo Qingyun's eyes. Seeing this scene, Mo Qingyun was stunned. He was shocked by the power of this sword technique. What a domineering sword technique. In terms of attack power, it just makes up for the lack of the dragon source tyrant body. Seeing the power of the soaring bull stave, Mo Qingyun was shocked and happy at the same time. He thought to himself, if I had mastered this technique earlier, I wouldn't have been so passive in the sea of bones of the demonic bull demon. With this thought in mind, Mo Qingyun looked forward to the next 2 sword techniques even more intensely. As Mo Qingyun was lost in his thoughts, a new wave of sea monsters arrived. This wave was even stronger than the previous one. 5,000 advanced nebula realm. Sensing the strength of this wave of sea demons, Mo Qingyun frowned. He discovered another pattern of sea demons. He thought to himself, it seems that although the sea demons behind are strong, they are fewer in number. Mo Qingyun discovered this point. He was even more certain of his previous guess. According to this trend, when a number of sea demons was reduced to one, he should be able to defeat the sea demon and leave the formation. While Mo Qingyun was waiting, the sea demon quickly approached and immediately launched an attack. Green Bull Ghostwood Incantation. Facing the attack of these sea demons, Mo Qingyun waved his long sword again and stabbed it in front of him. Then, an aura that was completely different from before burst out from the divine flame, sky-splitting sword. An eerie saint power burst out from the godly flame, sky-splitting sword, and turned into black ghost vines. Once these ghost vines were formed, they enveloped Mo Qingyun, forming a huge cage made of vines. Roar! When the rattan cage was formed, huge skeletal bullheads appeared above the rattan cage. As these skeletal bullheads appeared, they opened their mouths wide and pounced towards the sea demons. Crack, crack, crack. The skeletal bullhead flew in front of the sea monsters and began to devour them, chewing them into pieces. Seeing such a scene, the nearby Luo Jin's expression was shocked, and reverence appeared on his face as he said, as expected of the sword move of the nine-directional godly ox sword technique. Its might is indeed extremely terrifying. Master strength will surely rise explosively after mastering such a sword move. Under Luo Jin's shocked gaze, this wave of attacking sea demons was devoured by the skeletal bull head in the blink of an eye. After the skeletal bull head devoured the sea monster, the defensive power of the rattan cage became several times stronger than before. Seeing such a situation, Mo Qingyun revealed a look of understanding. He knew the true function of this move. I didn't expect that although the green ox ghostwood incantation looks powerful, it's actually a powerful defensive sword move. Seeing the essence of the green ox ghostwood incantation, Mo Qingyun could not help but sigh in his heart. Mo Qingyun sighed inwardly. He stopped thinking about it and removed the green ox ghostwood incantation. He thought to himself, I basically know the power of the first three sword moves. I wonder what the fourth move will be like. Under Mo Qingyun's anticipation, another wave of sea demons arrived, and their strength increased by a small level. Seeing the arrival of this wave of sea demons, Mo Qingyun no longer hesitated and immediately performed the fourth move of the green ox ghostwood sword technique. However, to Mo Qingyun's surprise, when he performed the fourth move of the green ox ghostwood sword technique, he actually failed. I failed. Seeing this, Mo Qingyun's expression froze. He did not expect this result at all. While Mo Qingyun was still in shock, the sea demons rushed in front of him and launched a fierce attack at him. In desperation, Mo Qingyun could only use other abilities to resist the attacks of the sea demons. Under Mo Qingyun's domineering attacks, this wave of sea demons' attacks was blocked by him once again. It's normal to fail on the first try. After blocking the sea demon's attack, Mo Qingyun thought for a moment and immediately felt relieved. He smiled faintly and said, the first three styles were successful on the first try. This made me instinctively think that the fourth style would be successful on the first try. However, this kind of thinking is wrong. How can everything be accomplished in one go? After thinking about this, Mo Qingyun's mood improved a lot. He tried to perform the Greenwood Ox Ghost Wood formation again. However, to his surprise, the result was the same. He failed again. It still doesn't work? Seeing this, Mo Qingyun's expression froze. He was very surprised by this. After a short moment of shock, Mo Qingyun refused to give up and tried a few more times. Next, Mo Qingyun tried more than 10 times, but all of them ended in failure. It seems like the fourth move is not something that can be completed in a short amount of time. After failing again and again, Mo Qingyun realized something. He thought to himself, it seems that the fourth move is based on the previous three moves. Without fully understanding the first three moves, I cannot perform the fourth move. Once Mo Qingyun understood this point, he stopped trying and started to practice the first 3 moves of the divine power. Though I cannot perform the 4th move, if I master the first 3 moves, my capabilities will still increase greatly. After giving up on the Greenwood Ox Ghostwood formation, Mo Qingyun focused all his energy on the first 3 moves. In the following time, Mo Qingyun cultivated and slowly passed by. Several hours later, under Mo Qingyun's relentless slaughter, he could no longer remember how many sea demons he had killed. As he continued to kill sea demons, the pressure he was under also increased. The sea demons that had appeared had already reached the celestial domain grade and could already pose a threat to him. Next, it will be the last sea demon. Whether or not I can leave the formation will depend on this battle. After killing the first 2 sea demons, Mo Qingyun felt a sense of anticipation as he waited for the last sea demon to arrive. As Mo Qingyun watched in anticipation, the last sea demon arrived and exuded a powerful aura. This aura is a peak celestial domain grade. Mo Qingyun's eyelids twitched when he sensed the aura of the sea demon. His face was full of shock. He had never imagined that the strength of the last sea demon would actually increase by 3 small boundaries. Chapter 25:33. Luo Jian, let's attack together and slay this sea demon. Mo Qingyun didn't dare be careless after witnessing the strength of the last sea demon. Thus, he immediately instructed Luo Jian. Luo Jian acknowledged Mo Qingyun's instructions and walked over to Mo Qingyun's side. As Mo Qingyun and Luo Jian watched nervously, the peak celestial domain grade sea demon arrived before them. This sea demon had 9 heads and looked a little like a WRM. Roar! The 9-headed WRM sea demon roared angrily and started to stir up trouble and attack Mo Qingyun and Luo Jian. As the 9-headed WRM sea demon attacked, waves after waves of imposing aura surged towards Mo Qingyun. As these waves surged, celestial domain grade sea demon shadow flew out one after another. It was the green bull sky-splitting slash. Mo Qingyun took the lead and brandished his sword in the face of the attacks of the sea demon shadow, unleashing an astonishing burst of sacred power. When this burst of sacred power was unleashed, it turned into streaks of green bull sword light that met the sea demon shadow in the waves. Bang, bang, bang. The attacks of the sea demon shadow in the waves were immediately intercepted by the bombardment of the green bull sword light. When the attacks of the sea demon shadow were blocked, the speed of the waves slowed down significantly. After blocking the attacks of the sea demon shadow, Mo Qingyun's attacks didn't stop. He immediately thrust the divine, sky-splitting sword in front of him. Following that, a surge of dragon-like saint energy burst out from his body. As this surge of sacred power was poured into the divine, sky-splitting sword, the divine sky-splitting sword glowed brilliantly and produced many bull shadows. Following the appearance of those oxen, they began to gallop in all directions, turning the surrounding 100 miles into an ancient forest. As soon as the ancient forest was formed, wooden stakes shot out from the ground and bombarded the sea demon shadow. PFFF, PFFF, PFFF. The sea demon shadow was defeated one after another by the overbearing bombardment of the sword light and dissipated into the air. As the sea demon shadow was dispersed, the surging waves also disappeared. Because of this, the 9-headed serpent's technique was neutralized by Mo Qingyun. 10,000 elephants raging bull blood formation. Seeing Mo Qingyun take action, Luo Jian did not hesitate to attack the siren shadow. A terrifying blood-red saint power burst out from Luo Jian's body and turned into a huge blood formation. After the formation of the blood formation, it enveloped the 9-headed Jiao dragon and attacked it continuously. Roar! After being attacked by the 10,000 mammoths raging bull blood formation, the 9-headed Jiao dragon sea demon was immediately enraged. It frantically twisted its body. As the nine dragons' serpent twisted its body, wisps of mystical force burst out from its body. When this power appeared, it began to violently attack the 10,000 elephants' raging bull blood formation. Bang! Not long after, the 10,000 mammoth raging bull blood formation collapsed under the attacks of the nine-headed flood dragon sea demon. After defeating Luo Jian's divine power, the nine-headed Jiao dragon sea demon's attack did not stop. It continued to change the surrounding environment. In a short while, the surrounding ancient forest turned into a gloomy swamp. At the same time, the 10,000 elephants raging bull blood formation that Luo Jian used also suffered a huge impact. This is the ghost bath domain. We're in trouble now. Seeing the changes in the surrounding environment, Luo Jian immediately frowned, and his expression became serious. Just as Luo Jian was worrying, Mo Qingyun also saw the strength of the sea demon star domain. The strength of the ghost bath domain was not something that the first elder's ghost spirit domain could compare to. It seems that it's impossible to kill this sea demon. Seeing the strength displayed by the sea demon, Mo Qingyun knew the result. He did not want to fight it head-on. Given the strength of the two of them, killing the nine-headed Jiao dragon sea demon would be as difficult as ascending to the heavens. Mo Qingyun understood this point. In his heart, he was thinking of slowly exhausting the sea demon. He thought to himself, based on the performance of the previous sea demons, the sea demon's existence is limited. As long as I survive this period, this sea demon will disappear on its own. Luo Jian, this sea demon's strength is too strong. Let's not fight it head-on. Mo Qingyun thought to himself, and told Luo Jian to prevent him from continuing to fight it head-on. He then said, if nothing goes wrong, the sea demons created by the nine-dragon sea-overturning formation are limited in their existence. If we survive this period, this sea demon will win without a fight. I understand. After hearing Mo Qingyun's instructions, Luo Jian immediately nodded in agreement and stopped fighting the sea demon head-on. Mo Qingyun and Luo Jian did not fight head-on, so the pressure on them was reduced significantly, and they were able to dodge the sea demon's attacks with ease. While Mo Qingyun was dodging the sea demon's attacks, Luo Jian also brandished his sword from time to time to counterattack. As he kept attacking the sea demon, Mo Qingyun also had a clear understanding of his own strength. Based on the current battle, I still have no way of retaliating against a peak celestial domain-grade powerhouse. Mo Qingyun couldn't help but sigh when he heard this. He felt helpless as he thought to himself, if I can break through to the galaxy grade, I should be able to put up a fight against a peak celestial domain-grade powerhouse. As Mo Qingyun thought about this, he started to consider looking for an opportunity to improve his cultivation base. Next, Mo Qingyun pondered while dealing with the sea demon. After an unknown period of time, the aura emitted by the nine-headed sea demon immediately soared several times. Mo Qingyun was startled when he sensed that the sea demon's aura was in disorder. He immediately thought of a possibility. This meant that the sea demon's time was up. It was going to self-destruct and dissipate. Immediately, Mo Qingyun became nervous and hurriedly reminded Luo Jian, Luo Jian, I'll send you into the Soul Palace to avoid the impact of the sea demon's sacred power storm. As Mo Qingyun reminded Luo Jian brandished his divine flame sky splitter and stabbed in front of him. Then, a sinister and powerful aura erupted from the divine flame sky splitter. Green Ox Ghostwood Incantation. Dragon Source Tyrant Body. Mysterious Underworld Palm. In an instant, Mo Qingyun executed several mystic abilities to resist the storm created by the sea demon's self-destruction. When Mo Qingyun used his superpower, a terrifying storm of saint force swept towards him domineeringly. Boom! When the storm of saint energy hit the Rot Tan cage, it exploded with a loud bang and immediately shook the Rot Tan cage. It didn't take long for the Rot Tan cage to collapse and disappear in midair. Seeing this scene, Mo Qingyun's expression was immediately shocked, and his heart hung in his throat. He had never expected that the Rattan cage's defensive capabilities would be unable to put up any resistance against the power of the nine-headed sea dragon's self-destruction. This situation was too shocking. If that was the case, would he be able to withstand the sacred power storm with his other techniques? Chapter 2534. Just as Mo Qingyun was feeling nervous, a violent storm of saint power hit the Thunderbolt territory. The Thunderbolt territory was instantly destroyed by the violent storm of saint power and did not block much of the attack. What a domineering storm of saint power! Seeing this situation, Mo Qingyun's expression shook. He immediately controlled the dark underworld palm to block. Under Mo Qingyun's control, 12 palm shadows flew in front of him and formed a wall of palm shadows. Bam! The storm of saint power hit the wall of palm shadows and immediately created a loud sound. The attack was slightly blocked. However, the palm shadows only blocked for a moment before the storm of saint power collapsed and disappeared before Mo Qingyun's eyes. Come on! Seeing that the palm shadows were defeated, Mo Qingyun looked proud and used all his strength to block the storm of saint power. Under Mo Qingyun's hands, 20,000 Saint Power Star clusters were used without reservation, causing his aura to soar. At the same time, he used all kinds of superpowers to increase his defense. Bam! Just as Mo Qingyun was concentrating on blocking, the storm of Saint Power engulfed him and attacked his body violently. Bearing the impact of the storm of Saint Power, Mo Qingyun immediately felt that his body was about to split apart. I must hold on. Sensing the situation of his body, Mo Qingyun clenched his teeth and silently encouraged himself. As Mo Qingyun gritted his teeth and persevered, cracks began to appear on the surface of his body. Some of the places where the impact was strong were badly mangled, and bones could be seen vaguely. Fortunately, Mo Qingyun's bloodline power was powerful, and he was constantly recovering from the injuries he sustained. Just like that, Mo Qingyun's body was destroyed, and he was in a stalemate. In the following time, Mo Qingyun endured the pain and slowly passed by. After some time, the storm of saint power gradually weakened. Is it finally over? Mo Qingyun's face paled as he felt the pain in his body lessen. He sighed weakly. After several hours of torture, both his body and will were greatly damaged. Just as Mo Qingyun heaved a sigh of relief, the storm of saint energy finally dissipated, and the array was also dissolved. We're finally out of the formation. Seeing him come out of the array formation, Mo Qingyun's expression relaxed, and his hanging heart finally relaxed. It seemed that his guess was right. After defeating the last sea demon, it would automatically come out of the array. Given his current state, there was a 90% chance that he wouldn't be able to withstand another peak celestial domain-grade sea demon. Boom, boom, boom. Just as Mo Qingyun was feeling relaxed, the statues around him suddenly began to move. Following that, waves of terrifying formation energy rippled out from their bodies. When the power of the array burst out, it broke through the main hall and shot into the starry sky. Immediately after, the wind and clouds began to gather in the starry sky, and the scene of hundreds of rivers flowing into the sea appeared. Not long after, a vast sea of stars was formed in the starry sky. What's going on? Mo Qingyun's expression tensed up as he looked at the situation in the starry sky above him. His heart was in his mouth. If this terrifying power was another test, he wouldn't be able to withstand it. Just as Mo Qingyun was feeling worried, he saw a dazzling blue light shoot out from the sea of stars in the starry sky. The light pillar is shooting towards me. Mo Qingyun panicked when he saw the rapidly approaching light pillar. He wanted to dodge the light pillar. Unfortunately, the speed of the light pillar was too fast. He was engulfed before he could dodge it. As Mo Qingyun was engulfed by the light pillar, a pure, gentle power was forcefully poured into his body. As the energy entered his body, it nourished his body and healed the injuries he had just suffered. Not only that, but this power also strengthened the saint power in his body. Could this be the reward for passing the array test? Sensing the situation in his body, Mo Qingyun guessed a possibility and was immediately overjoyed. While Mo Qingyun was overjoyed, he also felt a sense of self-mockery. He was a little paranoid. His bad luck had always made him feel that everything was a crisis. Dark devouring sky gate. After knowing the function of a light pillar, Mo Qingyun didn't think too much about it and immediately used his superpower to refine it. As Mo Qingyun used the dark devouring sky gate, the speed at which he refined the power of the light pillar obviously increased by more than a few times. As he continued to refine the power of the light pillar, Mo Qingyun's aura also increased rapidly. After a few hours, Mo Qingyun's cultivation level successfully broke through and entered the middle nebula realm. As his cultivation level broke through to the middle nebula realm, the nebula derived from the Saint Power Star cluster obviously became denser. Upon closer inspection, one could see that there were some small streams flowing in the nebula. This was a sign that the nebula was transforming into a galaxy. I didn't expect to break through so quickly with the help of the power of this light pillar. Sensing the breakthrough in his cultivation level, Mo Qingyun became excited and worked even harder to refine the power of the light pillar. Subsequently, Mo Qingyun's cultivation level increased rapidly under the crazy refining of the light pillar. 3 days later, his cultivation level broke through to the late nebula realm. 7 days later, he reached the peak nebula realm. 10 days later, he reached the half-step galaxy realm. 15 days later, he reached the quasi-galaxy realm. Moreover, the speed of this improvement didn't slow down at all. A few more days passed. I'm finally going to break through to the galaxy realm. Sensing his body's condition, Mo Qingyun became excited, and a strong sense of anticipation rose within him. He had originally thought that it would take a few months or even a few years to break through to the galaxy realm. Unexpectedly, with the help of the power of the light pillar, it only took him half a month to do it. After making this discovery, Mo Qingyun focused his mind and prepared to break through to the galaxy realm. In the Grand Ocean Secret Palace, due to the huge commotion caused by Mo Qingyun, some people who were training in the Grand Ocean Secret Palace rushed over. When everyone arrived outside the palace and saw Mo Qingyun cultivating in the palace, they were all shocked. Although these people were envious of Mo Qingyun, they didn't dare disturb Mo Qingyun as they didn't know about his background. Who is this kid? He seems to have obtained a terrifying inheritance. What a lucky guy. He's just like D9. The people from the Cloud Phoenix Rock Sparrow tribe are here. They must be furious when they see this scene. Of course, another powerful inheritance has been snatched away. It would be strange if they weren't furious. Everyone be careful. We will also be hated by them if we stay in the Grand Ocean Secret Palace. Under the whispers of the crowd, a group of arrogant people arrived outside the palace. Chapter 25:35. The members of the Cloud Phoenix Rock Sparrow tribe sized up Mo Qingyun before one of them stepped forward. This person's face darkened when he sensed Mo Qingyun's cultivation base. A nebula-grade brat actually dares to snatch our inheritance? You must have a death wish. As soon as he said that, he rushed towards Mo Qingyun and slashed his sword viciously. As he brandished his sword, an imposing sword light blasted towards Mo Qingyun's head. Everyone around was stunned when they saw this person's actions. They started to sympathize with Mo Qingyun. Everyone knew very well that it was best not to be disturbed during cultivation, especially during a breakthrough. The actions of this person from the Cloud Phoenix Rock Sparrow tribe were clearly trying to kill Mo Qingyun. Guofeng is too vicious. He actually interfered with someone's cultivation-based breakthrough. Guofeng is a very narrow-minded person. Previously, he took the lives of many people just for 10,000 starstones. It is said that he is the only one among the members of the Cloud Phoenix Rock Sparrow tribe who hasn't gained anything yet. This is probably the reason for his anger. That brat is really unlucky. He finally obtained the inheritance, yet he is going to die here. Everyone felt disdainful when they saw Guo Feng's actions. They were worried for Mo Qingyun and felt sorry for him. As everyone watched nervously, Mo Qingyun frowned slightly. Then, he heard Luo Jian's voice transmission. Master, a group of people is coming over. One of them even attacked you. Do you need me to get rid of them? Kill the person who attacked me and drive the rest away. Hearing Luo Jian's voice transmission, Mo Qingyun immediately instructed him and immersed himself in cultivation again. While Mo Qingyun was instructing Luo Jian, Mo Qingyun asked him to leave the Soul Palace and deal with the people in the vicinity. As Luo Jian appeared, a late-stage celestial domain-grade aura erupted from his body. Star. Late-stage celestial domain-grade. Guofeng was scared silly when he sensed Luo Jian's aura. His face turned as white as a sheet. He had never imagined that there would be such an expert by Mo Qingyun's side. Say, Senior, please don't be angry. I was just being impulsive. Please forgive me for offending you. Seeing Luo Jian's strength, even if Guofeng was lent several guts, he also did not dare to act rashly. Luo Jian's face darkened at Guofeng's pleading. He said coldly, I don't care what you're thinking. I'm going to kill you now. Come here obediently and accept your death. Seeing Luo Jian's overbearing attitude, Guofeng was instantly speechless, and his face flushed red with anger. Facing someone like Luo Jian, he really had no way to deal with him. Who asked him to be weaker than Luo Jian? Senior, I'm from the Cloud Phoenix Rock Sparrow clan. Killing me won't do you any good. In his panic, Guofeng could only bring out his identity, wanting to use this to intimidate Luo Jian. Unfortunately, Luo Jian didn't take his warning to heart at all. He curled his lips and said, You talk too much nonsense. I don't care what race you are if I want to kill you now. Blood ox trampling the sky. As soon as Luo Jian's words fell, he lifted his foot, and a terrifying blood-red Saint energy burst out. The blood-red Saint energy burst out and turned into a huge blood-red ox shadow. It lifted its foot and stomped down hard on Guofeng. Under the aura of the blood-red ox shadow, Guofeng found it difficult to even move his body. He could only watch in despair as the ox's foot approached him. No, no. Looking at the ox's foot that was getting closer and closer, Guofeng's face was filled with horror as he quickly begged Luo Jian for mercy. When Guofeng opened his mouth to beg for mercy, the other people from the Cloud Phoenix Rock Sparrow clan quickly shouted at Luo Jian, Senior, please show mercy and spare Guofeng's life. Before the people from the Cloud Phoenix Rock Sparrow clan could finish their words, the blood-red ox shadow's foot had already landed. Boom! A loud sound rang out. The arrogant Guofeng was trampled to the ground by the blood-colored ox shadow. After being trampled by the blood-red ox shadow, the aura on Guofeng's body began to weaken rapidly. Not long after, the aura on Guofeng's body completely dissipated. He had been killed by Luo Jian's superpower, and his soul had been destroyed. Hiss! Seeing such a scene, the surrounding people all sucked in a breath of cold air, and a sense of awe towards Luo Jian arose. At the same time, they looked at Mo Qingyun with a strange look in their eyes. A person who could be protected by a late-stage star second-level powerhouse must have an extraordinary identity. This kid has such a powerhouse protecting him. Could he be from a 4-star force? Even if he's not a genius from a 4-star force, the force behind him is not something the Cloud Phoenix Rock Sparrow clan can compare to. Fortunately, I didn't make a move earlier. Otherwise, I would have ended up like Guofeng. Seeing what happened to Guofeng, while the crowd was shocked, they also felt a sense of relief. While everyone's expressions were tense, and they were looking at each other in dismay, Luo Jian glanced at them and shouted, I'll give you 10 breaths of time to get the hell out of here. Otherwise, he'll be your example. As soon as Luo Jian said that, he released his late-stage star second-level aura and suppressed the crowd in the hall. Under the pressure of Luo Jian's aura, the crowd's expression changed drastically, and they did not dare stay any longer. Not long after, the crowd standing at the door immediately fled from the main hall. As for Guofeng's corpse, the few people from the Cloud Phoenix Rock Sparrow clan simply ignored it. In their opinion, it was not worth it to risk their lives for Guofeng's corpse. After driving the crowd away, Luo Jian sat down cross-legged and guarded Mo Qingyan. As the galaxy continued to pour into his body, the aura emitted by Mo Qingyan became stronger and stronger until it finally reached its peak. It's time to break through to the galaxy grade. After sensing his situation, Mo Qingyan no longer hesitated and immediately tried to break through to the galaxy grade. As Mo Qingyan tried to break through to the galaxy grade, the nebula derived from the Saint Power Star cluster began to transform rapidly. Gradually, the originally dim and transparent nebula turned into a trickling river. The galaxy grade is formed. Upon seeing the changes in the Saint Power Star cluster, Mo Qingyan was delighted to break through the barrier of the galaxy grade. Thanks to Mo Qingyan's spurt of energy, he broke through the barrier of the galaxy grade in an instant. Following the successful breakthrough, the aura emitted by Mo Qingyan reached a new level. Master's cultivation base has broken through. Luo Jian was stunned when he sensed the change in Mo Qingyan's aura. He immediately became excited. At the same time, the way he looked at Mo Qingyan also changed. Master has broken through to the galaxy grade. His strength will definitely soar, and he will truly be able to contend with a celestial domain-grade powerhouse. Chapter 25:36. After a few hours, Mo Qingyan stabilized his cultivation base and exited his cultivation. As soon as Mo Qingyan exited his cultivation, a familiar energy fluctuation appeared in his body. This energy fluctuation seems to be... Sensing the energy fluctuation in his body, Mo Qingyan was pleasantly surprised and became excited. This was the Gate of Fortune's movement. It was about to give birth to a new mystique. I wonder if the Gate of Fortune will give birth to a new mystique this time? With a strong sense of curiosity, Mo Qingyan released his soul power and sensed the Gate of Fortune. Mo Qingyan sensed that the Gate of Fortune appeared in his sea of consciousness and exuded a mysterious energy. Not long after, a beam of golden light appeared within the Gate of Destinies, transforming into a golden door of light. Following the formation of the golden door of light, Mo Qingyan learned some information about it. The Gate of Fortune. After learning about the function of the golden door, Mo Qingyan became excited. The joy on his face could not be concealed as he said excitedly, "There is finally a way to resolve the influence of the Gate of Bloody Calamity." Mo Qingyan had not expected that he would obtain such a mystique after breaking through to the galaxy grade. In that case, I will test the power of the Gate of Fortune first. After learning about the function of the Gate of Fortune, Mo Qingyan did not hesitate and immediately used it. A golden light quickly gathered in front of Mo Qingyan and condensed into a golden door. After the golden door was formed, it entered Mo Qingyan's body and exuded a mysterious energy. Eye of Fortune, refining vortex, stealing claw. As the Gate of Fortune flew into Mo Qingyan's body, the information of the three mystiques appeared in his sea of consciousness. Eye of Fortune. After using it, one can gain insight into the fortune of all things in the world. Refining vortex turns one's body into a fortune vortex and absorbs the power of fortune drifting in the world. It can also condense one's own power of fortune and make it stronger and more condensed. Stealing claw can steal the fortune of others in a domineering manner. After learning about the three mystiques, Mo Qingyan's curiosity and anticipation immediately became stronger. Eye of Fortune. Due to his strong curiosity, Mo Qingyan used the Eye of Fortune to see through the power of fortune in the world. As Mo Qingyan used the power of fortune, all things in the world before his eyes immediately changed. In the originally ordinary world, there was an additional ball of golden gas that slowly floated in the void. This is the power of fortune. Mo Qingyun's expression changed when he saw the golden qi floating around him. A look of surprise appeared on his face. While he was surprised, he looked at Luo Jian's fortune situation, Luo's fortune. Outside Luo Jian's body, there was a huge blood-colored python coiling around him. Outside the blood-red python, there was a faint layer of the power of fortune that concealed its aura and light. It seems that the blood-red python outside Luo Jian's body was caused by the door of disaster. Seeing the blood-red python outside Luo Jian's body, Mo Qingyun's heart skipped a beat. He quickly understood its origin. After guessing the blood-red python's origin, Mo Qingyun became curious again and looked at the power of fortune outside the blood-red python. After observing for a while, Mo Qingyun discovered that there was a thin golden line on the power of fortune that was connected to him. He said, "There's a thin golden line on the power of fortune that's connected to me. It seems that my power of fortune has been transferred to Luo Jian." It turns out that my fortune has indeed been affected by Luo Jian. After obtaining this result, Mo Qingyun could not help but sigh. He had a clear understanding. It seemed that the reason why he was so unlucky was indeed because of Luo Jian's influence. I wonder what the situation is with my fortune. After observing Luo Jian's fortune, Mo Qingyun immediately became curious about his own fortune. Immediately after, he activated his Eye of Fortune to observe his own fortune. Under Mo Qingyun's inspection, he discovered that there was a vast power of fortune around his body. There were two thin golden lines on the power of fortune. One of them was connected to Luo Jian. As for the other one, it should be connected to Niu Wei. I didn't think that the amount of power of fortune I possess would reach such a level. Seeing the power of fortune outside his body, Mo Qingyun was shocked. He was somewhat surprised by the amount. While he was shocked by the amount of power of fortune, Mo Qingyun discovered that there were two blood-red clouds floating above the power of fortune. Under the cover of the two blood-red clouds, his power of fortune dimmed as if it was greatly suppressed. It seems that if I want to change my fortune, I have to get rid of these two blood-red clouds. Looking at the blood-red clouds above his head, Mo Qingyun immediately understood the way to change his fortune. Since I've found the reason, it's time to solve it. With a thought, Mo Qingyun released a majestic saint power and blasted the blood-red clouds above his head. However, to Mo Qingyun's surprise, the blood-red clouds did not react at all in the face of the overbearing bombardment of saint power. Since saint power's attack is ineffective, let's try soul power. Seeing that saint power's attack was ineffective, Mo Qingyun released soul power and blasted it again. However, the result was still the same. Facing the bombardment of soul power, the blood-red clouds still did not change. After two consecutive attacks failed, Mo Qingyun frowned. His mind spun quickly as he guessed. Could it be that to get rid of these two blood-red clouds, I need to use the power of fortune to attack? As soon as this idea appeared in his mind, Mo Qingyun immediately verified it and used the power of fortune to bombard the blood-red clouds. Chi. Facing the bombardment of the power of fortune, the blood-red clouds immediately trembled and began to dissipate bit by bit. Seeing this, Mo Qingyun immediately became overjoyed and excited. It's effective. It seems that my guess is right. Only the power of fortune can get rid of it. After this discovery, Mo Qingyun did not hesitate and immediately controlled the power of fortune to bombard it. Then, under the continuous bombardment of the power of fortune, the blood-red clouds began to dissipate bit by bit. Although the blood-red clouds were slowly dissipating, Mo Qingyun's power of fortune was also rapidly depleting. Facing such a situation, Mo Qingyun suddenly felt a pang of pain. The power of fortune was not like saint power and soul power. It was extremely difficult to condense it again, and it could not be done in a short period of time. Fortunately, I have the power of fortune to condense it again. Otherwise, this kind of consumption would be unbearable. Thinking that he had the gate of fortune, Mo Qingyun felt much better. He did not feel bad about the consumption of the power of fortune. Chapter 25:37. A day later, under Mo Qingyun's continuous elimination, the two blood-red clouds above his head finally disappeared. In order to eliminate the blood-red clouds above his head, Mo Qingyun's power of fate was almost depleted. Although the power of fate has been depleted, it's very worth it to be able to eliminate the two blood-red clouds. Although Mo Qingyun's heart ached for the depletion of the power of fate, he did not regret it at all. If he had to choose again, he would still make the same decision. This was because under the influence of misfortune, it was too inconvenient for him to do things, which greatly affected his cultivation efficiency. Without the influence of misfortune in the future, his cultivation would progress by leaps and bounds. The benefits were immeasurable. Moreover, he had the help of the gate of fate, so the fate that he consumed would slowly condense back. The fate refining vortex. With that thought in mind, Mo Qingyun used the fate refining vortex to refine the fate floating around him. Under Mo Qingyun's urging, the remaining power of fate in his body quickly condensed into a cyclone. After the cyclone was formed, it emitted a suction force, absorbing the surrounding power of fate. As the power of fate in the surroundings gathered, Mo Qingyun's power of fate increased bit by bit. However, the increase was very small, almost negligible, and it could not change Mo Qingyun's fate. However, although the increase in providence was very small, Mo Qingyun did not stop. It didn't take long for Mo Qingyun to refine all the power of providence within a 10-mile radius. The speed of absorbing the power of fate between heaven and earth is still a little too slow. I have to think of another way. Looking at the speed of absorbing the power of fate, Mo Qingyun frowned, and his mind spun quickly. As Mo Qingyun mulled this over, a faint smile appeared on his face. He had an idea. Every cultivator carries a certain amount of luck. Some geniuses carry a lot more luck than the average person. If I can snatch their fate, it should be a good choice. It will allow my fate to increase quickly. As Mo Qingyun thought of this, he couldn't wait to find some people to test it out. Master, your realm has stabilized. Seeing Mo Qingyun stand up, Luo Jian's face was filled with excitement, and he immediately went to greet Mo Qingyun. In response to Luo Jian's question, Mo Qingyun nodded indifferently and replied, "My cultivation has stabilized. Let's go somewhere else." As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he walked out of the hall, with Luo Jian following closely behind him. Continue to the west. Mo Qingyun came out of the hall. He identified the direction and left with Luo Jian. Next, Mo Qingyun searched for fortuitous opportunities while looking for targets to plunder Providence. Before long, as Mo Qingyun and Luo Jian hurried along, they saw a group of people. Seeing the group of people in front of him, a faint smile appeared on Mo Qingyun's face. He immediately flew towards them. When Mo Qingyun approached the group of people, he saw a giant formation blocking their path. Inside the formation, there was obviously a treasure trove. Without the influence of the misfortune, everything will be much smoother. Now I can kill two birds with one stone. Looking at the array formation and the people in front of him, Mo Qingyun revealed a brilliant smile. His mood instantly became extremely good. If it was in the past, he would have to go through a lot of trouble to achieve what he wanted. Let these people break the formation first. It won't be too late to take their fate. As he looked at the array formation before him, Mo Qingyun pondered for a moment before coming to a decision. Then, Mo Qingyun waited patiently and watched the people break the formation. Under Mo Qingyun's observation, he discovered that there was a middle-aged man who was proficient in formations. Under Mo Qingyun's observation, he discovered that this person's attainments in formations were extremely high, far from what he could compare to. If my guess is correct, this person's attainments in formations should be at the 4th level. After observing for a while, Mo Qingyun had a rough idea of this person's attainments in formations. There were a total of 7 levels to a sacred array master. Once one reached the fourth level, they would be considered the backbone of the sacred array master. If I can get this person's help, it will be much easier for me to break formations in the future. Mo Qingyun's mind spun as he made a decision. He planned to take this person in for his own use. At that moment, as Mo Qingyun was observing the person suddenly stopped. Seeing that the sacred array master had stopped, a young man standing beside him immediately asked nervously, "Master Rinjun, why did you suddenly stop? Could it be that you have encountered a problem?" "That's not it." Rinjun shook his head when he heard the young man's question. A sliver of difficulty appeared on his face. He said, "It's not difficult for me to break through this formation, but I need someone to enter the formation and help me test it step by step. Only then will I be able to determine what to do next." Hearing Rinjun's words, the young man immediately understood what Rinjun meant. "That's easy." The young man smiled nonchalantly. He looked around, searching for someone to test the formation with. Under the young man's gaze, the surrounding people were all stunned. They all lowered their heads, not daring to look at him directly. "You come here." The young man glanced at the crowd and used a commanding tone to point at a man. The man's face immediately paled when he heard the young man call out his name. He pleaded with a terrified expression, "Young Master Guozheng, please spare me. I really am not suitable." "Shut up. Either you come and test the formation, or you die." Guozheng's face darkened in the face of the man's pleas. He threatened him coldly. Although the man was very unwilling, he still braced himself and went to test the formation when he heard Guozheng's words. He knew Guozheng's personality very well. Once he angered Guozheng, only death would await him. In comparison, although it was slightly dangerous to test the formation, there was at least a chance of survival. "Grandmaster Rinjun, I beg of you to be kind. You must protect me." Walking to Rinjun's side, the man begged and walked into the array in fear. As soon as the man walked into the formation, there was a flash of green light. Rays of green light appeared. As soon as the rays of green light appeared, they pierced through the man's body like a thunderbolt. "Grandmaster Rinjun?" Despair filled the man's face when he saw what had happened to him. He looked at Rinjun with his eyes wide open. Rinjun directly chose to ignore the man's actions. He said to Guozheng in a deep voice, "Young Master Guozheng, send another person to test the formation." "All right." Guozheng's face turned cold when he heard Rinjun's request. He looked at the crowd again. Everyone's faces immediately tensed up when they saw what had happened to the former. Chapter 25:38. Following Guozheng's finger, everyone looked at Mo Qingyun one after another with sympathy in their eyes. In their eyes, if Mo Qingyun went to explore the formation, he was basically dead for sure. "You want me to explore the formation?" Under everyone's gaze, Mo Qingyun's lips curled into a faint smile as he calmly asked Guozheng a question. He never thought that Guozheng would take the initiative to come knocking on his door when he didn't make trouble for him. "That's right, it's you." Guozheng replied impatiently to Mo Qingyun's question. Then he urged Mo Qingyun and yelled, "Kid, stop dilly-dallying. Otherwise, I'll kill you directly and choose someone else to explore the formation." Upon hearing Guozheng's words, the surrounding people panicked and immediately revealed anxious expressions. "Little brother, stop dilly-dallying. Don't make young Master Guozheng angry." "Yeah, if you're killed by Guozheng, you'll get us all in trouble. Hurry up and explore the formation. Don't get us all in trouble because of you." Seeing that Mo Qingyun didn't move, a few selfish people all urged Mo Qingyun. They were all worried that if Mo Qingyun was killed by Guozheng, they would be chosen to explore the formation. Mo Qingyun curled his lips in disdain when he saw how everyone was behaving. He developed a sense of disgust towards them. However, Mo Qingyun didn't pay any attention to them. He just silently remembered them. "I'll give you a choice right now. If you let someone else explore the formation, I can spare your life temporarily." Under the gazes of the crowd, Mo Qingyun's face remained calm as he replied to Guozheng. Everyone was stunned when they saw Mo Qingyun's behavior. They were shocked by Mo Qingyun's words. Mo Qingyun was just too bold. His words were clearly provoking Guozheng. After a brief moment of shock, everyone looked at Mo Qingyun with anger and mockery. This brat is overestimating himself. He actually dared to anger Guozheng like this. He's really courting death. It's one thing for him to die, but he caused us to have to explore the formation. Selfish bastard. People like him deserve to die. He could have helped others, but he chose to die in vain. For a time, some people's disgust for Mo Qingyun reached an unprecedented level. Seeing everyone's reaction, Mo Qingyun's eyes flashed as he remembered them. If their previous words were selfish, then their current words were malicious. You're courting death. Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, Guozheng was finally enraged. His body emitted a murderous aura. In his opinion, if he couldn't punish Mo Qingyun now, he wouldn't be able to convince the masses. If everyone behaved like Mo Qingyun, how could he quickly break the array formation? Guozheng shouted angrily. He stretched out his palm and slapped towards Mo Qingyun's head. Impudent! Luo Jian shouted angrily when he saw Guozheng's actions. He raised his hand and blasted it towards Guozheng. Mo Qingyun's expression changed when he saw Luo Jian's actions. He immediately instructed, "Don't kill him yet. His life is still useful." Yes, Luo Jian responded immediately when he heard Mo Qingyun's instructions. His attack weakened a little. Even so, the power of Luo Jian's palm wasn't something Guozheng could withstand. In front of Luo Jian's advanced celestial domain-grade cultivation, Guozheng's peak galaxy-grade cultivation was as insignificant as an ant. So strong. This is the aura of a celestial domain grade. Guozheng's body trembled when he sensed Luo Jian's aura. His face turned as pale as a sheet. He had provoked a ruthless person. He really did not expect that there would be such a powerhouse protecting Mo Qingyun by his side. As far as he could remember, even the top genius of the Yunfeng Rock Sparrow clan had never received such treatment. "Say, Senior, please spare my life." After Guozheng was captured by Luo Jian, he began to beg for forgiveness. Mo Qingyun chose to ignore Guozheng's pleas. If he hadn't wanted to rob Guozheng of his providence, he wouldn't have stopped Luo Jian from killing Guozheng. Gate of Providence. After sizing up Guozheng, Mo Qingyun used the Gate of Providence and prepared to rob him of his providence. Eye of Providence. Before using the Claw of Providence, Mo Qingyun used the Eye of Providence to check everyone's providence. After observing for a while, Mo Qingyun discovered that Guozheng's providence was obviously much stronger than the others. Ordinary people can't compare to a genius of the Yunfeng Rock Sparrow clan. Mo Qingyun sighed when he saw the power of providence on Guozheng's body. Then he smiled faintly and said, "Robbing Guozheng's providence is worth at least dozens of ordinary people. It can make up for some of the providence I lost." Claw of Providence. After learning about Guozheng's providence, Mo Qingyun stretched out his claw and grabbed at Guozheng's head. Mo Qingyun forcibly extracted Guozheng's power of providence with a grab. Vortex of Providence. After robbing Guozheng's providence, Mo Qingyun used the Vortex of Providence to refine and absorb it. Under the effect of the Vortex of Providence, the providence taken from Guozheng was slowly absorbed by Mo Qingyun. Then, Mo Qingyun's power of providence grew rapidly. Robbing a dozen of Guozheng's providence will allow me to recover the providence I lost. After plundering Guozheng's providence, Mo Qingyun pondered for a moment before he turned to look at the others. Seeing Luo Jian's existence, everyone was horrified under Mo Qingyun's gaze. They hadn't expected that this seemingly harmless young man would be more dangerous than Guozheng. What did you do to me?" Although Guozheng wasn't injured after Mo Qingyun forcibly took away his providence, he felt very uneasy. He felt that something important to him had been taken away by Mo Qingyun using his secret technique. Mo Qingyun didn't reply to Guozheng's question. He turned his head to look at Ren Jun and said, "Does this guy meet your requirements?" As Mo Qingyun spoke, He raised his hand and pointed at Guozhang. His meaning couldn't be more obvious. Ren Jun's expression changed when he heard Mo Qingyun's question. Hesitation flashed through his eyes. What kind of status Guozhang had, he was all too clear about it. He knew very well what the consequences would be if Guozhang died, because he was exploring the formation. Mo Qingyun's expression turned cold when he saw Ren Jun's hesitation. He said, "Looks like this guy isn't suitable for exploring the formation. If that's the case, there's no point in keeping him. Wait a moment. Let him explore the formation." Ren Jun immediately called out when he saw Mo Qingyun's actions and interrupted Mo Qingyun. In his opinion, the only way to save Guozhang was to let him explore the formation. Chapter 25:39. When he heard Ren Jun's request, Guozhang's expression froze. His face was full of anticipation. Given his intelligence, he could naturally tell that Ren Jun was trying to save him. As he thought about this, Guozhang waited expectantly for Mo Qingyun's reply. "Since you have asked, let him explore the array." Under Guozhang's expectant gaze, Mo Qingyun nodded indifferently. He then hinted to Luo Jian, "Luo Jian, let him go. Let him explore the formation." "Yes." When he heard Mo Qingyun's instructions, Luo Jian nodded immediately and removed his control over Luo Jian. Guozhang's expression relaxed when he saw that Luo Jian had removed his mystic ability. He quickly walked over to Ren Jun and said, "Master Ren Jun, my life is in your hands. You must protect me." There was a strong sense of sarcasm in Guozhang's tone when he said this. Not long ago, someone else had been ordered by him to enter the array formation and explore it despite the risk of death. He hadn't expected that he would be reduced to such a state in such a short time. This was really karma. "I'll do my best." Hearing Guozhang's request, Ren Jun's expression tightened, and he gave Guozhang an answer. He had no choice. Given his current understanding of array formations, he wasn't completely confident that he could break the array. Guozhang smiled bitterly when he heard Ren Jun's reply. His emotions were extremely complicated. However, he couldn't say anything. The only person who could save his life was Ren Jun. "Young Master Guozhang, enter the array." After exchanging a few words with Guozhang, Ren Jun nodded at him and prepared to break the array formation. Under Ren Jun's urging, Guozhang hesitated for a moment, then raised his foot and stepped into the formation. "Young Master Guozhang, take 5 steps to the right." Seeing Guozhang enter the array formation, Ren Jun instructed him on how to move within the array formation. Guozhang's expression stiffened when he heard Ren Jun's instructions, and he started to move within the array formation. Very quickly, Guozhang took 5 steps to the right and arrived beside a small mountain within the array formation. Boom! Boom! Guozhang's footsteps had just stopped when pieces of meteorites formed by the power of the array formation came crashing down on him. The aura of these meteorites was extremely strong. The aura of each meteorite was comparable to an attack from a quasi-celestial domain-grade powerhouse. "Master Ren Jun, my life or death depends on you. You've calculated it well." Looking at the meteorite flying towards him, Guozhang panicked and hurriedly warned Ren Jun. When Guozhang reminded him, he didn't dare to hesitate in the slightest and immediately bombarded those meteorites. Under Guozhang's attack, waves of terrifying saint power blasted out from his fist. Bang, bang, bang. When the fist hit the meteorite, a loud noise was heard as the meteorite was smashed into pieces. As the meteorites were shattered one after another, Guozhang's crisis was resolved. He felt as if he had just survived a calamity. After resolving his crisis, Guozhang smiled bitterly. He turned to Ren Jun and said, "Master Ren Jun, what should I do next? You have to be careful this time." "I'll do my best." Hearing Guozhang's words, Ren Jun's expression tightened, and he gave Guozhang an answer. Actually, he didn't want Guozhang to be in danger, as this wouldn't do him any good. However, sometimes there is a difference between reality and one's ideal. "I'll do my best again." Guozhang's face twitched when he heard Ren Jun's words. He had an ominous feeling as he hurriedly said, "Master Rinjun, you can't just do your best. You have to do it." Rinjun didn't respond to Guo Zhang's words. Instead, he said solemnly, "Young Master Guozheng, take a step to the left, then take a step back, then another step back. Finally, take a step forward." All right. Although Guozheng complained about Rinjun, he didn't dare disobey Rinjun's instructions. It couldn't be helped, as Rinjun's words represented Mo Qingyun's wishes. If he dared to disobey, Mo Qingyun would definitely make a move on him and directly obliterate him. Given Luo Jian's terrifying strength, there was no way he could get away with it. Boom, boom, boom. Guozheng had just finished his 4 steps when a terrifying formation power undulation gathered above him. Following that, pieces of terrifying rocks came crashing down on him. Guozheng was dumbfounded when he saw this scene. He didn't know whether to laugh or cry. The way he saw it, Rinjun did it on purpose. Although he was a little furious, Guozheng didn't dare to be distracted. He immediately attacked the falling meteorites. Fortunately, Guozheng's strength was powerful enough. He withstood the bombardment of the meteorites after a short while. Seeing Guozheng's situation, the surrounding people's expressions immediately became strange. Guozheng probably didn't expect that he would have such an outcome. You guys recall what Master Rinjun said just now. There seems to be something wrong. Take a step to the left, then take a step back, then take a step to the right, and finally take a step forward. Isn't this equivalent to not walking? Hearing your analysis, it seems to be the case. Master Rinjun must have done it on purpose. After all this, Master Rinjun turns out to be an ally. He's deliberately toying with Guozheng. Everyone whispered among themselves. They discovered that there was an obvious loophole in Rinjun's words. Hearing everyone's conversation, Mo Qingyun's expression changed slightly. Following that, it became solemn. He thought to himself, looks like Rinjun still needs quite a bit of time to break this array formation. I wonder if Guozheng can hold on. The way Mo Qingyun saw it, Rinjun giving the wrong instructions several times in a row indicated that he was very unfamiliar with array formations. In particular, the second obvious mistake proved this point even more. Mo Qingyun did not think that Rinjun was deliberately toying with Guozheng to punish Guozheng. If that was really the case, Rinjun wouldn't have opened his mouth just now to save Guozheng's life. Although he discovered this point, Mo Qingyun did not point it out either. He watched silently by the side. He did not care about Guozheng's life or death. Even if Guozheng died in the array and could not continue to explore the array, he could get someone else to replace him. Under Mo Qingyun's gaze, Rinjun hesitated for a moment before instructing Guozheng, "Young Master Guozheng, take 10 steps forward and 7 steps to the left. Then, activate your sane energy and throw a punch forward." "Master Rinjun, are you sure this time? Are you sure you want to do this?" With the previous 2 experiences, Guozheng was immediately worried when he heard Rinjun's instructions. He had no choice. This array formation was too dangerous. If he was not careful, he might die here. That's right. Rinjun answered Guozheng's question with a serious face. After hearing Rinjun's affirmative answer, Guozheng no longer hesitated and followed Rinjun's instructions. Chapter 2540. Not long after, Guozheng followed Rinjun's instructions and came to a new position. He raised his hand and threw a punch forward. With Guozheng's punch, the array immediately went berserk, producing a violent fluctuation of array power. Seeing this, Guozheng's expression changed drastically as he thought of a possibility. He had triggered the array's taboo again, causing the array to attack him again. "Master Rinjun, you did it on purpose." Looking at the array in front of him, Guozheng smiled bitterly and complained. It was fine if it happened once, but it happened 3 times in a row. He couldn't be blamed for thinking too much. In his opinion, with Rinjun's attainments in arrays, he shouldn't have made so many mistakes. After Guozheng complained, he didn't dare to be distracted and immediately defended against the array's attack. 1,000 spears shattering the Star River. As soon as Guozheng finished speaking, He took out a long spear and attacked wildly in front of him. Under Guo Zhang's brandishing of the spear, nearly 10,000 spear shadows appeared in the blink of an eye and hit a black meteorite. Bang, bang, bang. Facing the impact of the black meteorite, nearly 10,000 spear shadows instantly collapsed, making a series of sounds. Nearly 10,000 spear shadows were dispersed, but the black meteorite's attack didn't decrease and continued to hit Guozhang. Bang! Facing the overbearing impact of the black meteorite, Guozhang was directly sent flying, spitting out fresh blood from his mouth. Under the impact of the black meteorite, Guozhang was severely injured and his aura immediately weakened. Not only that, but as Guozhang was sent flying, he triggered another taboo of the array. Immediately, wind and clouds gathered in the array, producing waves of terrifying array power. Then, one after another, terrifying attacks engulfed Guozhang. No, I don't want to die yet. Facing the attacks of the formations, Guozhang immediately panicked and roared in dissatisfaction. He knew very well that in his current state, he couldn't block the array's attacks at all. Although Guozhang was panicking, he still hurriedly waved his spear to resist, trying to block the array's attacks. Unfortunately, his resistance was like a mantis trying to stop a chariot. It didn't have any effect at all. Bang, bang, bang. After breaking through Guozhang's defense, the bombardment produced by the formation landed on Guozhang's body. Facing a series of impacts from the array formation, Guozhang's body was directly blasted apart. Even his primordial spirit did not escape. Seeing this scene, everyone outside the formation was so shocked that their faces changed greatly. Even Guozhang, such a powerful existence, fell in the face of the array formation's series of bombardments. If it were them, they would probably end up in an even more miserable state. Young Master Guozhang is dead. Looking at Guozhang, who was blasted to death, Ren Jun revealed a shocked expression, unable to accept this result. He asked in puzzlement, "How could this be? According to my previous conjecture, even if it would trigger an array formation attack, the attack power should be this strong." At that instant, Ren Jun's heart was filled with a strong sense of confusion. To him, Guozhang's situation was too strange. It was too different from what he had imagined. Compared to Ren Jun's bewilderment, Mo Qingyun was very clear in his heart. He immediately guessed the reason and thought to himself, if nothing unexpected happens, the reason why Guozhang was so unlucky should have something to do with his destiny being stripped away. Experiencing the previous bout of bad luck, Mo Qingyun could be said to be the clearest about the influence of destiny. Since Guozhang is dead, it's time to let the others probe the formation. Understanding the cause of Guozhang's death, Mo Qingyun did not think anymore and looked at the others. When Mo Qingyun looked at the others, he was also thinking silently in his mind. He thought to himself, if I extract their destiny and they enter the array formation, they will successively trigger the array formation's taboos and end up with the same outcome as Guozhang. How would this help in cracking the array formation? In addition, the destiny on these people isn't particularly strong. Even if I seize it, it doesn't mean much to me either. Better leave their destiny behind. With that thought, Mo Qingyun made up his mind. He did not plan on taking their destiny. Seeing that Mo Qingyun was looking at them, the expressions of the onlookers immediately tensed up. You, go probe the formation. Mo Qingyun glanced at the array formation. He raised his hand and pointed at one of the people who had been shouting the loudest. As a result, he would be the first to probe the formation. Whether or not he could survive would be up to him. No, you can't do that. How are you any different from Guozhang if you do that? The person was displeased when he saw Mo Qingyun telling him to probe the formation. He questioned Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun was not surprised by this person's reaction. He said calmly, "How am I any different from Guozhang? You don't have to worry about that. Go probe the formation immediately or die." You. The person shuddered when he saw Mo Qingyun's domineering attitude. Then, he said angrily, "Don't go too far, kid. Even if you have the protection of a celestial domain grade powerhouse, it doesn't mean that no one can take care of you. If you insist on going your own way, you will end up like Guozhong. Shut up. Mo Qingyun's expression darkened when he saw the person's reaction. Then, he raised his hand and blasted out a palm strike. As Mo Qingyun waved his hand, a cold and sinister palm shadow blasted out from his palm. The black palm shadow blasted out and arrived in front of the person in the blink of an eye, blasting his body apart. Seeing such a scene, the expressions of the surrounding people all trembled in fear. Compared to Guozhang's actions, Mo Qingyun was even more domineering and domineering. He gave them an unquestionable feeling. When they saw this, everyone's hopes of getting lucky immediately vanished. They already knew that this harmless-looking young man before them was even more frightening than Guozhang. Seeing everyone's reaction, Mo Qingyun's expression turned cold. He said, "Those who have been called by me, I hope that you have some sense of public decency. Don't cause others to explore the formation because of your own cowardice and fear of death." The expressions of the surrounding people changed when they heard Mo Qingyun's words. They all felt a strong sense of mockery. When Guozhang had ordered Mo Qingyun to do so, they had all reacted the same way. Who would have thought that they would also have such a day? After warning everyone, Mo Qingyun didn't waste any more time. Instead, he raised his hand and pointed at another person. After seeing what had happened to the person in front of him, this person reluctantly walked into the array formation helplessly. This person's luck hadn't been taken away. After entering the array formation, his situation was much better than Guozhang's. Under Ren Jun's instructions, he walked 5 steps in a row without being attacked by the array formation. Everyone relaxed when they saw this. It seemed like probing the array formation wasn't particularly dangerous. Chapter 25:41. Looks like one still can't be too bad as a person. Otherwise, one is destined to be punished by heaven. Yeah, just like Guozhang, he's too ruthless. Did you all notice? The people that young master named were all the people who targeted him just now. I didn't target him just now. Looks like he probably won't choose me to scout the formation. I hope so. Let's wait and see. It's still too early to make a conclusion now. As several people entered the array formation, they discovered some patterns and could not help sighing emotionally. While everyone was whispering, Mo Qingyun's expression changed slightly. He had an answer to the guess in his heart. Looks like the reason why Guozhang was so unlucky should be that his destiny was stripped away. Several hours later, under Ren Jun's continuous deliberations, the array formation was finally cracked by him. Seeing that the array formation was cracked, the expressions of some people surrounding and watching immediately became much more relaxed. In their view, since the array formation was cracked, they did not need to take the risk to scout the formation anymore. Looks like this Ren Jun's array formation attainments are even a little more brilliant than I thought. Seeing that the array formation was cracked by Ren Jun, Mo Qingyun revealed a satisfied smile and slowly walked over towards Ren Jun. Seeing Mo Qingyun walk towards him, Ren Jun immediately put up his guard and said in a solemn voice, "Since the array formation is cracked, this one will take his leave." Mo Qingyun gave him a very dangerous feeling, making him unwilling to associate with Mo Qingyun even if he had to give up this treasure trove. Ren Jun threw down a sentence and was not willing to stay any longer, preparing to leave this place of trouble. In his view, before the array formation was cracked, Mo Qingyun would not let him leave. Now that the array formation was already cracked, if he wanted to leave, Mo Qingyun should not stop him. Ren Jun's straightforward action made Mo Qingyun somewhat surprised and involuntarily looked up to him a little. Facing countless treasures, Ren Jun being able to do this was seriously too not easy. Wait. Seeing that Ren Jun was preparing to leave, Mo Qingyun's expression changed, and he immediately called out to him. Since he wanted to recruit Ren Jun for his own use, how could Mo Qingyun let him leave? When he heard Mo Qingyun's words, Ren Jun was stunned. He paused and asked, "Sir, I've already helped you break through the formation, and I'm not taking any of the treasures inside. What else do you want?" If it was under normal circumstances, For Rin Jun to be able to do this, it was indeed impeccable. It was precisely because of this that Mo Qingyun wanted to subdue him. Rin Jun was a rare talent. Mo Qingyun thought that it would be a good choice to let Rin Jun set up a defensive array formation for the Heavenly Soul Demon race. My request is very simple. From now on, you will follow me and obey my orders. Regarding Rin Jun's question, Mo Qingyun did not beat around the bush and directly expressed his thoughts to him. In Mo Qingyun's opinion, it was better to get straight to the point when dealing with someone as smart as Rin Jun. Rin Jun immediately became stern when he heard Mo Qingyun's words. He said angrily, "Don't go too far. If you force me into a corner, it won't do you any good." Mo Qingyun seemed to have expected Rin Jun's anger. He said calmly, "Don't be in such a hurry to get angry. Don't forget that Gui Zheng's death is related to you. If the Cloud Phoenix Crag clan learns about this, they won't let you go." Rin Jun immediately fell silent when he heard Mo Qingyun's words. He could not refute Mo Qingyun's words. He knew very well that the Cloud Phoenix Crag clan would not listen to his explanation given how they did things. Seeing Rin Jun remain silent, Mo Qingyun nodded in satisfaction and said, "In other words, we are already grasshoppers on the same boat. Following you will only bring you benefits and no harm. Right now, only I can help you." Rin Jun hesitated even more when he heard Mo Qingyun's words. He could not refute Mo Qingyun's words. After all, there was still a celestial domain grade powerhouse by Mo Qingyun's side that could guarantee his safety for now. What are your requirements for submitting? It can't be just a simple sentence, right? Rin Jun thought for a moment before he made a decision to ask Mo Qingyun what his requirements were. Given Rin Jun's intelligence, he could naturally guess that Mo Qingyun's submission wasn't just a simple sentence. Of course not. Upon hearing Rin Jun's words, Mo Qingyun's admiration for him deepened. He smiled faintly and said, "My request is very simple. Open up your spiritual consciousness and let me plant a spiritual imprint." "That's impossible." Rin Jun's expression changed immediately when he heard Mo Qingyun's request. He immediately rejected Mo Qingyun and said, "I, Rin Jun, am not someone who is afraid of death. Even if the Cloud Phoenix Crag clan pursues me, I will never submit to you." Mo Qingyun's expression changed when he saw Rin Jun's attitude. "I hope you can understand the situation. I am not negotiating with you. I am giving you an order." As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he gave Luo Jianshi a look, indicating for him to capture Rin Jun. Upon receiving Mo Qingyun's instructions, Luo Jian immediately made a move and captured Rin Jun. Rin Jun was furious when he saw Luo Jian's actions. He glared furiously at Mo Qingyun. Based on the current situation, he would not be able to leave alive if he dared disobey. "I'll give you 10 seconds to consider. I hope you won't make things difficult for me." Mo Qingyun did not care about Rin Jun's anger. He only gave him an order. Mo Qingyun began to count down as he waited for Rin Jun's reply. He knew that Rin Jun would definitely understand what he meant given his intelligence. 10, 9, 8, 7 time passed bit by bit. Rin Jun's expression became heavier and heavier. He knew very well that his life and death would be decided with a single thought. Sigh. After an intense struggle, Rin Jun could not help but sigh. He said helplessly, "Let me go. I'm willing to submit to you." Although he was very unwilling, he still chose to submit due to the current situation. He did not dare to take the risk. He did not dare to challenge Mo Qingyun's temper and Mo Qingyun's tolerance for him. This was because he discovered that those who had offended Mo Qingyun earlier were basically all dead. With Mo Qingyun's character, he would not be soft-hearted if he wanted to kill him. He did not dare to take this risk. Very good. Seeing Rin Jun's attitude, Mo Qingyun nodded his head in satisfaction and said in a low voice, "If that's the case, you can open up your sea of consciousness." Under Mo Qingyun's instructions, Rin Jun opened up his sea of consciousness and let Mo Qingyun plant a soul imprint. Seeing Rin Jun submit to Mo Qingyun, the surrounding people were stunned. They felt that it was somewhat unreal. They did not expect that a character like Ren Jun would be forcefully subdued by Mo Qingyun. Chapter 2542. I didn't expect the final winner to be him. Yeah, he killed Guizheng and subdued Grandmaster Ren Jun. These deeds are too frightening. With Grandmaster Ren Jun's help, he'll be even more powerful. Seeing Ren Jun's submission, everyone's attitude towards Mo Qingyun immediately became even more respectful. In comparison, Mo Qingyun's methods were much more powerful than Guizheng's. Under everyone's respectful gazes, Mo Qingyun subdued Ren Jun. His face darkened as he said, "I'll take care of everything in the hall. You can all leave now." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, the surrounding people were immediately displeased. They were dissatisfied with Mo Qingyun's order. They were afraid, but in the face of countless treasures, they couldn't help but be tempted. Not everyone could remain as calm as Ren Jun when faced with the temptation of such a precious treasure. "Why should we take care of everything just because you say so? We broke the formation for you. We've contributed greatly." "That's right. Even Guizheng didn't force us to leave just now. Those who are unrighteous are doomed to destruction. Don't be too ruthless and leave yourself no way out." "That's right. Being too ruthless won't do you any good." Seeing Mo Qingyun's attitude, everyone immediately became angry and criticized Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun didn't care about everyone's reaction at all. With a cold expression, he said, "Luo Jian, if they don't leave in 3 breaths, kill them here." After saying that, he walked into the hall and handed these people over to Luo Jian to deal with. Seeing Mo Qingyun's attitude, Ren Jun was so frightened that his body trembled. He was even more respectful towards Mo Qingyun. At this moment, he truly discovered how overbearing Mo Qingyun was. While Ren Jun was shocked, he felt a lingering fear. He was glad that he had submitted to Mo Qingyun. Otherwise, he would probably follow in Guizheng's footsteps and die under Mo Qingyun's palm. Ren Jun rejoiced as he followed behind Mo Qingyun and walked into the hall. Mo Qingyun and Li Wuyo walked into the main hall and saw a large amount of cultivation resources piled up in front of them. This is the cosmic blue crystal used to set up a level 5 holy array. Also, these are the Aeon Rain Blood crystals used to set up a level 5 stigmata ice formation. The Star Sector level divine armor, the Wanyao Galaxy magic armor, is actually hidden here. Seeing the things piled up in the main hall, Ren Jun's eyes immediately widened, and his eyeballs almost popped out. The value of the items stored in this hall was simply too terrifying. Compared to Ren Jun's astonishment, Mo Qingyun, who was much calmer, guessed, "If I'm not mistaken, the high-level treasury of the mighty Ocean Secret Abode should be in this hall." Mo Qingyun smiled brightly when he noticed this. He was secretly delighted and thought to himself, "It seems like my fortune has changed. It's much easier to do things now." While Mo Qingyun was rejoicing, the aftermath of an intense battle spread from outside the main hall. When he sensed the aftermath of the battle, Mo Qingyun immediately guessed the reason. He couldn't help but lament. Greed always makes people lose their rationality and forget about the dangers behind temptation. Mo Qingyun sighed silently. He ignored those people and started to collect the treasures in the main hall. Ren Jun's heart was filled with envy as he watched Mo Qingyun collect the treasures. Every single one of these items was priceless. Even with his state of mind, he couldn't remain calm as he looked at the treasures before him. Although Ren Jun was very tempted, he didn't dare act rashly. Instead, he stood beside Mo Qingyun respectfully. Before long, all the items piled up in the main hall were collected by Mo Qingyun. After collecting everything in the main hall, Mo Qingyun frowned and felt puzzled. That's strange. Given Luo Jian's late-stage, celestial domain-grade cultivation, it shouldn't have taken him this long to deal with those people outside. Mo Qingyun walked into the main hall with a strong sense of puzzlement. He wanted to get to the bottom of this. When Mo Qingyun walked out of the main hall, an intense battle scene appeared before his eyes. A beautiful woman was holding an ancient round mirror in her hand as she fought fiercely with Luo Jian. That's the seagoing, space-shattering mirror, the majestic Sea Emperor Lord's life treasure. Ren Jun was shocked when he saw the round mirror in the lady's hand. I never imagined that Guoshang would actually obtain the majestic Sea Emperor Lord's life treasure. She is indeed the beloved daughter of the Yunfeng Rock Sparrow clan. Guoshang? So it's her. Upon hearing Ren Jun's words, Mo Qingyun's expression changed, and he couldn't help but take a few more glances at Guoshang. In his memory, the person who had previously fought with Di Nai seemed to be the lady before his eyes. Mo Qingyun became interested as he thought about Guoshang. He carefully sized her up and said, "The seagoing, space-shattering mirror in her hand should be a quasi-universe-grade weapon. It's no wonder that she could fight with Luo Jian for so long despite her early-stage, celestial domain-grade cultivation." Mo Qingyun muttered to himself. Then he smiled faintly and said, "Dinai's luck is pretty good. If he had encountered Guoshang now, he would have been killed even if he had broken through to the celestial domain grade. Master, what should we do now? Should we inform Senior Luo Jian to retreat?" Ren Jun looked worried as Mo Qingyun sized up Guoshang. Then he asked Mo Qingyun, "There are many members of the Cloud Phoenix Sparrow clan in the mighty Ocean Secret Palace. Since Guoshang was able to reap some benefits, there's no guarantee that others won't be able to as well. If that's the case, their strength cannot be underestimated. If they're all drawn over, we will be in a bad situation. There's no need for that. The Cloud Phoenix Sparrow clan is nothing to me." In response to Ren Jun's worries, Mo Qingyun smiled without hesitation and comforted him. At this moment, while Mo Qingyun and Ren Jun were talking, a young man with a sneer on his face told a lady beside him, "Miss Guorong, this is the fellow who killed Guozhang. He is with this fellow." As the young man spoke, he raised his hand and pointed at Mo Qingyun and Luo Jian, who was fighting with Guoshang. His meaning couldn't be more obvious. Upon hearing the young man's report, the face of a lady who resembled Guoshang darkened immediately. "Chen Jia, this is your reward. You can leave now." Guorong tossed a storage bracelet to Chen Jia before waving her hand at him and glaring coldly at Mo Qingyun. Chapter 2543. It's too early for you to be happy. Mo Qingyun shook his head in disdain. "Do you think I can't do anything to you just because you're hiding behind the Yunfeng Rock Sparrow clan? Isn't that the case?" Chen Jie sneered at Mo Qingyun's question and retorted nonchalantly. Mo Qingyun's sneer deepened when he saw Chen Jie's reaction. "You're too naive. Even if you were protected by a 4-star force, I would still be able to kill you, let alone a mere Yunfeng Rock Sparrow clan. Door of bloody calamity." As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he didn't waste any more words with Chen Jie and directly used his divine power on him. With a flip of Mo Qingyun's hand, a door of light flashing with blood-red light condensed on his palm. After the door of bloody calamity appeared, Mo Qingyun waved his hand and blasted it at Chen Jie. With Mo Qingyun's help, the door of bloody calamity transformed into a beam of bloody light and rapidly arrived in front of Chen Jie. Chen Jie didn't even have time to react before the door of bloody calamity hit him. "You!" Chen Jie's expression flickered as he was struck by the door of calamity, completely shocked by the sudden turn of events. He hadn't expected that Mo Qingyun would still attack him under such circumstances. What was even more unexpected was that he didn't even have time to react to Mo Qingyun's superpower. Didn't this mean that if Mo Qingyun wanted to kill him, he wouldn't even have time to dodge? While Chen Jie was still in fear, the battle between Luo Jian and Guoshang intensified. Sea Moon turns heaven and earth. The seagull's space-piercing mirror immediately bloomed with dazzling light under Guoshang's control and shone toward Luo Jian. Luo Jian didn't dare to be careless in the face of Guoshang's superpower and immediately used his trump card. Demonic Sky Moving Bull Transformation. As Luo Jian used his divine ability, his body began to grow, turning into a Blood Bowl giant that was dozens of feet tall. Luo Jian took the form of a giant ox demon and swung his fists madly to meet the sea moonlight that was bombarding him. Under the bombardment of Luo Jian's fist, the direction of the sea moonlight's attack changed a little. Coincidentally, the direction of Hai Yu's attack changed to where Chun Jie was standing. Seeing this scene, Chun Jie was immediately stunned, his eyes filled with disbelief. He never would have thought that Luo Jian, two people's intense battle, would actually bring disaster to him. No, don't. Looking at the sea moonbeam, Chun Jie's face was filled with terror. He screamed, "What?" Before Chun Jie could finish his sentence, the sea moon's light hit him and reduced him to ashes. Seeing this scene, Ren Jun, who was standing beside Mo Qingyun, immediately trembled in fear. He knew full well that Chun Jie's death had something to do with Mo Qingyun. At this moment, he finally understood the meaning behind Mo Qingyun's words. Even if a 4-star power had come, they wouldn't have been able to protect Chun Jie. If a universe-grade powerhouse hadn't come, it would have been impossible to stop the battle between Luo Jian and Luo Jian. What an arrogant brat! How dare he spout such arrogant words in front of me? Guo Rong shouted in displeasure when she recalled what Mo Qingyun had said and saw that Chun Jie had been killed. In her opinion, Chun Jie's death in front of her was a slap to her face by Mo Qingyun. After saying this, Guo Rong released her aura and crushed it in the direction of Mo Qingyun. Celestial domain grade. She is actually a celestial domain grade powerhouse. Ren Jun shuddered in shock when he sensed Guo Rong's aura. Then, his expression stiffened and he said in a flustered manner, "Master, what should we do next? Given our strength, I'm afraid we are no match for Guo Rong. There's no need to panic. I'll deal with Guo Rong. You step aside first." Hearing Ren Jun's panicked words, Mo Qingyun's expression remained calm as he waved at him. Ren Jun was stunned when he saw Mo Qingyun's actions. He had been shocked by Mo Qingyun's words. Given Guo Rong's celestial domain grade cultivation, Mo Qingyun actually wanted to fight her? Wasn't this crazy? Mo Qingyun's celestial domain grade cultivation base was an entire grade lower than Guo Rong's. "Master, you mustn't be rash. Now is not the time to let your emotions affect your decisions." Ren Jun, who knew what Mo Qingyun was thinking, hurriedly tried to persuade Mo Qingyun. However, Mo Qingyun chose to ignore his persuasion. "Don't worry. She's just an early-stage, celestial domain grade girl. I have no problem dealing with her." This, upon seeing Mo Qingyun's resolute attitude, Ren Jun wanted to persuade him again. However, he swallowed his words in the end. In his opinion, if Mo Qingyun dared to say this, he definitely had something to rely on. More importantly, even if Mo Qingyun encountered danger, Luo Jian would still step in to save him. Although Luo Jian couldn't defeat Guishang, it wouldn't be difficult for him to save Mo Qingyun. Ren Jun didn't say anything else. He immediately retreated to the side to watch the battle. As Ren Jun retreated to the side, Guo Rong rushed towards Mo Qingyun and shouted angrily, "Arrogant brat, I want to see how you can defeat me with your early-stage galaxy-grade cultivation base." Hibiscus entwining flower slash. Guo Rong flipped her palm, and a long sword appeared in her hand that emitted a dazzling glow. As Guo Rong waved her arm, faint red flower petals condensed around her body. These flower petals condensed and flew towards Mo Qingyun, exuding a sharp aura. When the flower petals arrived around Mo Qingyun, their flying speed increased by several times. As the flower petals flew faster, they turned into streaks of sword light that shot towards Mo Qingyun. Mysterious underworld palm. Mo Qingyun didn't seem to be afraid as he faced the attack of these flower petals. Instead, he quickly waved his palm to meet the attack. As Mo Qingyun made his move, a violent, ice-cold sacred power blasted out from his palm. Then, this sacred power turned into 12 palm shadows that revolved around Mo Qingyun's body. Boom, boom, boom. Under the bombardment of the 12 palm shadows, the flower petals flying towards Mo Qingyun were instantly blasted apart. Everyone was stunned when they saw this scene. They were all shocked by Mo Qingyun's strength. Guorong's all-out attack was easily neutralized by Master. Master is so strong. Seeing Mo Qingyun's strength, Renjun's expression changed drastically. His heart was filled with shock. The scene before his eyes was simply too unbelievable for him. Chapter 2544. Renjun wasn't the only one who was shocked after witnessing Mo Qingyun's strength. Everyone else felt the same way. This kid's strength has actually reached such a level. Looks like I underestimated him. Guorong shuddered when she saw Mo Qingyun's display of strength. She stopped underestimating Mo Qingyun and said coldly, "I admit that you have some strength. However, you're still just one person. Against so many powerhouses of my tribe, you won't be able to escape death today." As soon as Guorong said that, her body flashed and she launched another attack on Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun smiled disdainfully as he watched Guorong launch another attack. He stood up calmly and said, "Who told you that I was just one person?" As he spoke, Mo Qingyun placed his hands behind his back like an emperor overlooking the world. As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, a mid-level celestial domain-grade aura erupted from his body. When this aura burst out, it scared the surrounding people quite a bit. Each and every one of their faces was filled with shock. This aura had come from Mo Qingyun's body. Could he have been hiding his cultivation base? His true cultivation base wasn't at the initial stage of the galaxy grade, but the mid-stage celestial domain grade. While everyone was still in shock and puzzled, a huge bony claw appeared. A huge dragon claw appeared and exuded a terrifying dragon aura as it swatted down at Guorong. Mid-stage, celestial domain grade. There's a celestial domain grade powerhouse hidden by this kid's side. Guorong shuddered when she saw this unforeseen event. Panic appeared on her face. This unforeseen event was really too sudden for her, so she wasn't prepared for it all. This meant that they were in a bad situation. Although they had more people on their side, they were weaker than Mo Qingyun's side in terms of peak combat power. Boom! The huge dragon claw appeared and blocked Guorong's attack, sending her flying. When the dragon claw forced Guorong back, a young man wearing bone armor appeared in front of Mo Qingyun and shouted, "A bunch of reckless fools! How dare you attack my master?" It turns out that Master still has a celestial domain-grade powerhouse by his side. Master's trump cards are really frightening. Seeing Niu Wei beside Mo Qingyun, Renjun's heart immediately trembled, and his gaze became hot. At this moment, his unwillingness to submit to Mo Qingyun disappeared without a trace. In his opinion, being protected by two celestial domain-grade powerhouses was already very impressive. Even the geniuses of some four-star forces would not be able to enjoy such treatment when they went out to train. Do you still want to compete with me in numbers? After summoning Niu Wei and intimidating the Cloud Phoenix Sparrow race, Mo Qingyun asked Guorong. Guorong was at a loss for words when she heard Mo Qingyun's question. She did not know how to respond to Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun had Niu Wei's help, so no matter how many people they had on their side, it would not be of much use. I will give you a chance. If you can defeat me, I will let you all leave this place. Looking at the silent Guorong, Mo Qingyun suggested to her, releasing a strong battle intent. His cultivation base had broken through to the galaxy grade, so he needed a sparring partner to familiarize himself with his strength. Guorong, who had just broken through to the celestial domain grade, will be a very good sparring partner. All right. Guorong hesitated for a bit when she heard Mo Qingyun's suggestion. However, she still agreed. Their side had more people with lower cultivation bases. If both sides were to engage in a chaotic battle, it would be very disadvantageous for them. If Mo Qingyun only targeted people with lower cultivation bases during the battle, it would be a huge headache for her. When he saw that Guorong had accepted his challenge, Mo Qingyun did not waste any more words with her. Instead, he immediately rushed toward her. Divine Flame, Sky-Splitting Sword. As Mo Qingyun rushed towards Guorong, he clenched his right fist tightly, and a flaming sword appeared in his palm. The flaming sword was formed and emitted a terrifying heat wave that seemed capable of burning the sky and earth. Green Bull's Sky-Splitting Slash. After condensing the Divine Flame, Sky-Splitting Sword, Mo Qingyun did not hesitate any longer. He immediately slashed his sword at Guorong. When Mo Qingyun slashed out with his sword, a terrifying sacred power erupted from the Divine Flame, Sky-Splitting Sword. A domineering green bull sword light blasted out from the Divine Flame, Sky-Splitting Sword and flew towards Guorong. Boom, boom, boom. As the green bull's sword light flew, a series of explosive sounds were heard wherever it passed. It was as if the sky and earth were shaking. When he saw the power of Mo Qingyun's sword, Renjun was shocked. He was so frightened that his body trembled. This aura is no weaker than a celestial domain grade. I did not expect Master's true combat strength to have already reached the celestial domain grade level. Renjun could see Mo Qingyun's combat strength, and so could Guorong. The shock on her face deepened. She had originally thought that she had overestimated Mo Qingyun. She did not expect that she had still underestimated Mo Qingyun. Hibiscus Flower Slash. While Guorong was still in shock, she did not hesitate and immediately slashed her sword at Mo Qingyun. As Guorong slashed out with her sword, a terrifying sacred power erupted from her sword. When the sacred power erupted, it turned into hibiscus flower petals that floated towards the green bull sword light. When the hibiscus flower petals approached the green bull sword light, they turned into flower petals that bombarded the green bull sword light. PFFF, PFFF, PFFF. When the flower petals collided with the green bull sword light, a muffled sound was heard and waves of sacred power waves were generated. Unfortunately, the green bull's sword light's offensive power did not decrease in the slightest in the face of the continuous bombardment of the flower petals. Before long, the flower petals dissipated under the impact of the green bull sword light. Ow! How can this be? The power of his sword move is actually much stronger than mine. When she saw the power of the green bull sword light, Guorong was so frightened that her pretty face was filled with horror. She could still accept that Mo Qingyun had used the mysterious dark palm to break her sword move. However, Mo Qingyun had just used a sword move to break her sword move. She was unable to accept this result. In her opinion, she had been completely crushed by Mo Qingyun. After recovering from her shock and unwillingness, Guorong hurriedly brandished her long sword and slashed at the green bull sword light. The green bull sword light's offensive power was blocked by Guorong's sword and slowly dissipated. Puff! Although Guorong had blocked the green bull sword light's offensive power, she was still slightly injured under the impact of the green bull sword light. Seeing Guorong's performance, Mo Qingyun had a clearer understanding of the green bull sword light's power. He thought to himself, "It seems that it's very difficult to block the green bull's sword light and scathe without a cultivation base above the middle stage of the star sector level." Chapter 2545. Mo Qingyun rushed toward Guorong. He swung his sword and slashed out a powerful sword radiance. Seeing the power of Mo Qingyun's sword, the people of the Cloud Phoenix Rock Sparrow clan immediately showed worried expressions. Guorong could not take Mo Qingyun's sword head-on even when she was in her peak condition. Now that she was injured, it would be even more impossible for her to block Mo Qingyun's sword. "Sister Rong, let me help you." Knowing Guorong's situation, a girl who looked to be in her late teens immediately flew toward Mo Qingyun. Seeing the girl's action, Guorong's expression immediately changed. She showed an anxious expression and shouted, "Guowan, retreat quickly. Don't get involved in the battle. Guorong knew very well that once Guowan attacked, Niue would attack as well. If that happened, the situation would not be good for them. The situation she was worried about would happen. Guowan did not listen to Guorong's words. She rushed toward Mo Qingyun without slowing down. Seeing Guowan attack, the other people of the Cloud Phoenix Rock Sparrow clan also joined the battle. In an instant, several people flew toward Mo Qingyun and attacked Mo Qingyun. Seeing this, Guorong's face immediately turned pale. She had a strong feeling that something was wrong. The situation she was worried about the most had finally happened. Good timing. Seeing Guowan and the others join the battle, Mo Qingyun did not feel any fear. Instead, a strong fighting spirit rose in him. As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he stabbed the divine flame, sky-splitting sword in front of him. Then a violent surge of saint power poured into the divine flame, sky-splitting sword from Mo Qingyun's hand. As the saint power poured into the divine flame, sky-splitting sword, a terrifying bull shadow rushed out from the divine flame, sky-splitting sword. As the bull shadow rushed out, an ancient forest formed around Mo Qingyun. Tut, tut, tut. After this ancient forest was formed, streaks of sharp green wood sword light shot out from the ground at an extremely fast speed. The green wood sword radiance shot out and attacked the people in the forest. It exploded with a terrifying destructive force. Poof, poof, poof. Some people with lower cultivation were hit by the green wood sword radiance. They were caught off guard and were immediately seriously injured. After being hit by the green wood sword radiance, these people lost their ability to fight. Their auras rapidly weakened. No, no. Seeing this scene, Guorong's pretty face immediately paled, revealing a pained expression. In a short moment, almost half of the people who came to rescue her were crippled by Mo Qingyun. Looking at this tragic scene, she felt as if she was bleeding. The green bull, sky-splitting slash. Mo Qingyun was not affected by the injuries of the Yunyunfeng Rock Sparrow tribe members. He slashed out again without hesitation. Mo Qingyun waved the heaven-piercing godly flame sword, and a burst of emerald saint force burst out, turning into streaks of green bull sword light. The green bull sword ray slashed out from the sword and blasted toward the other members of the Cloud Phoenix Sparrow clan in a violent manner. Bang, bang, bang. The remaining members of the Cloud Phoenix Rock Sparrow tribe were immediately sent flying by the attack of the green bull sword ray. Even Guorong, who was a celestial domain grade, wasn't a match for Mo Qingyun, let alone the rest of them. In an instant, everyone who had come to save Guorong was seriously injured by Mo Qingyun. Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, Guorong immediately became furious and shouted, "If you have the ability, then attack me. Don't hurt my people." Guorong shouted. She brandished her long sword and madly rushed towards Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun didn't care about Guorong's anger at all. Instead, he said coldly, "They broke the rules first, so I naturally can't show them any mercy." After replying to Guorong, Mo Qingyun ordered Niue to deal with the others. After giving his order to Niue, Mo Qingyun's figure moved, and he took the initiative to meet Guorong. Green Bull Sky, splitting slash. Mo Qingyun arrived in front of Guorong and slashed out with his sword without hesitation, creating streaks of green bull sword light. Guorong's pretty face immediately changed when she saw Mo Qingyun's attack. She looked shocked. She had already experienced the power of Mo Qingyun's sword. It wasn't something she could take head-on. However, she had no way out now. She could only take Mo Qingyun's sword head-on. Lotus emerging slash. Guorong yelled and waved the long sword in her hand. She slashed out a gentle saint power. This saint force burst out and condensed into a lotus emerging from the water. It gave off a gentle and ethereal feeling. After the lotus was condensed, it met the green bull sword light head-on. The petals fell off one by one. The petals fell off and turned into streaks of sword light, bombarding the green bull sword light. Bang, bang, bang. The petals collided with the green bull sword ray and immediately produced a series of sounds, creating a storm of saint power. However, the petals didn't last long before they were destroyed by the green bull sword light. They couldn't resist the attack of the green bull sword light. After the green bull sword light destroyed the petals, its attack didn't weaken at all. It crashed into Guorong's body domineeringly. Poof! After being hit by the green bull sword light, Guorong was immediately sent flying. She spat out fresh blood. Immediately, Guorong's injuries worsened, and her aura weakened significantly. Renjun was shocked when he saw Imo Qingyun's performance. Master strength is terrifying. Even with Guorong's celestial domain-grade cultivation, she couldn't resist him at all. Renjun felt a lingering fear when he saw Imo Qingyun's display of strength. While Renjun and Niuwei were talking, Imo Qingyun took out the treasures from the high-grade treasure trove and started counting them. Seeing Imo Qingyun counting the treasures, Renjun's eyes lit up with excitement as he looked at the 1,000 Brilliance Galaxy magic armor with envy. Sensing Renjun's gaze, Imo Qingyun picked up the 1,000 Brilliance Galaxy magic armor and handed it to Renjun, saying, "Your physique is too weak. This magic armor is for you. It will give you more power to protect yourself." Although the 1,000 Brilliance Galaxy magic armor was good, it wasn't very useful to Imo Qingyun's physique. In comparison, it was different for Renjun to refine the magic armor with his weak physique. Master, this is for me?" Looking at the 1,000 Brilliance Galaxy magic armor in front of him, Renjun couldn't help feeling a little surreal. He didn't expect that Imo Qingyun would give him such a precious armor. At this moment, he finally understood how right it was to submit to Imo Qingyun. "If you don't need it, then give it back to me." In response to Renjun's question, Imo Qingyun smiled faintly and teased him. Upon hearing Imo Qingyun's words, Renjun became even more excited and hurriedly said, No, I'm just surprised that Master would give me such a precious armor. You have no foresight." Seeing Renjun's reaction, Niuwei curled his lips to express his disdain and said, "When you follow Master for a while, you will realize that the magic armor in your hands is just a piece of junk." Through his interaction with Imo Qingyun, his eyes had widened a lot, and he was clear about Imo Qingyun's potential. Upon hearing Niuwei's words, Renjun smiled sheepishly, feeling very embarrassed. He didn't want to refute Niuwei's words. He knew very well that given Imo Qingyun's future achievements, it would be a piece of cake for him to obtain such a magic armor. Imo Qingyun didn't care about what Renjun was thinking. He handed the 1,000 Brilliance Galaxy magic armor to him and said, "There are some array formation materials here. Help me sort them out and keep them safe for me." "Yes." Upon hearing Imo Qingyun's instructions, Renjun responded and started to sort out the array formation materials. After handing over the array formation materials to Renjun, Imo Qingyun sorted out the other items and put them away one by one. "Hey, this flame crystal seems to be the key to a secret vault." While Imo Qingyun was sorting out the items, a flaming crystal appeared in his hand. When Imo Qingyun took a closer look at the flame crystal, he saw that there was an ancient word East engraved on it. Given Luo Jian's experience, he should know about the origin of this crystal. I will ask him later. After examining the flame crystal, Imo Qingyun put it away and continued to sort out the other items. Several hours later, Imo Qingyun stopped what he was doing. Then, Imo Qingyun and the rest continued to go deeper into the Eastern Jin Divine Mountain. The power of the flames here is getting stronger. We should be close to the cave of the Eastern Jin Divine Mountain's fire ancestor. Sensing the power of the flames, Imo Qingyun silently deduced the location of the cave of the Eastern Jin Divine Mountain's fire ancestor. At the same time, Mo Qingyun and the rest gradually met some cultivators on their way. The direction they were heading was also the location of the cave of the Eastern Jin Divine Mountain's fire ancestor. Mo Qingyun didn't pay any attention to the people who were traveling with him. He continued on his way at full speed. Just like that, Mo Qingyun walked for half a day and arrived at a basin. The basin was filled with people who had come to seek opportunities. They were gathered in front of an ancient palace. If he was not wrong, this ancient palace should be the cave of the Eastern Jin Divine Mountain's fire ancestor. Although the self-destruction of the Eastern Jin Divine Mountain's fire ancestor had caused a lot of damage to the palace, it was still not easy to enter. There were several powerful array formations outside the ancient palace. Only by breaking them could one enter the palace. It seemed like the person who had set up the array formations in the palace had to be extremely skilled in array formations. Such a powerful array formation could only have been set up by a level 5 sacred array master. After taking a look at the array formations in the palace, Missouri Qingyun roughly guessed the person who had set up the array formations. After all, Rin Jun was only a level 4 sacred array master, so he was unable to set up such an array formation. The Eastern Jin Divine Mountain is really hot. I didn't expect it to still be so hot, even though the Eastern Jin Divine Mountain's fire ancestor has been dead for so long. Of course, the Eastern Jin Divine Mountain's fire ancestor was a half-step universe grade when he was alive. You guys are too ignorant. Haven't you heard of the phrase Eastern Jin Divine Mountain? Eastern Jin Dynasty's hot. Eastern Jin Dynasty's hot. So it's referring to the Eastern Jin Divine Mountain. As Mo Qingyun approached these people, Mo Qingyun overheard some of their conversations. As he listened to these people, Mo Qingyun walked toward the crowd and thought about how he could break the array formations and enter. Before long, Mo Qingyun pushed through the crowd and arrived at the front. Junior brother Mo, you are actually here too. When Mo Qingyun arrived at the front of the crowd, a surprised voice was heard beside him. When he heard this voice, Mo Qingyun turned his head and looked in the direction of the voice. A group of disciples of the Longbol Mountain sect are standing respectfully by D9's side, waiting for his instructions. Junior brother Mo, you have broken through to the galaxy grade.